There it began. Lauren and her filler sweet 52, rocking that Botox like it's 2002. Gray baby, barely old enough to vote, found her soulmate in a true crime Reddit post. Hidden hands, touching hands over a Dateline episode about a lady in the woods, sipping root beer, screaming that could be us, befriending Lori Vallow in jail, just get her trust. You are the prairie girl of Lauren's dreams, sister wifing in the LDS scene. Mormon ghosts are nodding with approval, it seems. Dr. John said, I now pronounce you codependent. Two Karens share a bed at Amazon Prime. True crime love never felt so disordered and sublime. Ruby Frank had her vlogs in her chains. Jody had duct tape and nutritional yeast for days. Lauren's got a ring light and Needles rants about boundaries. Grayson has hidden TikToks doing sister-wife things. Both screaming, respect my authority, while the neighbors call CPS the FBI, peeking through the drapes at the strange trio at night. Be advised, 3 subjects, 1 fool, 1 fat walker. Last seen arguing over whose turn it is to be the victim or the stalker. Grayson traded prom for polygamy. Lauren traded menopause for a felony. Together they're worse than Ruby and Jody. They lie to cops, slander others, cry for 9 hours, leaving Dr. John oh so lonely. So here's to John and his girls, one with filler, the other hair slick with oil, both fighting age, personality disorders in a collagen cage.
Hey,
may your mugshot go viral, may your GoFundMe thrive, and may Dr. John keep both of you happy. Long enough to finish the mansion and air the Netflix documentary.
That is our Matthias hidden true crime opera. All right, everybody. AB's in the house. I'm so happy to see you, my friend. Okay. Seems like there's been a lot of drops, right? Today, I usually don't go live this much. This was the main one. Okay, this was the one that I really was motivated to do. But it required a little bit of background, so I did the video, the short little edited video to put up to sort of so that you would know what this is referring to. And then I got triggered by old Beej and Craigie, and so I had to have a statement on that. Okay, but this is the deal, right, Diane? So it's great to see you. What adult thinks this behavior is okay, let alone a psychologist? Look, I think that Dr. Matthias has entered into a little bit of unfamiliar territory. I think he might have crossed a line. Oh, it's a co-opera. Okay, thank you, Moments in Training. I can accept that. I think he may have wandered into a little bit of territory that he's really not prepared to deal with. And is this not what is nearly always the downfall of, people that may be dealing with a little bit of, self-importance, right? Your basic narcissistic type. They start feeling like they're very special. And they don't have to, oh yeah, it's a opera. Yeah, thank you, Moments in Trading. I need some help, okay? My brain is aging. I'm a little dehydrated. It may be shrinking a little, but thank you so much for helping me work through these moments, okay? The Proton email is very interesting, isn't it, Boss Lady? For example, what if this was invented evidence, right? That was the point of showing the earlier video, the little edited video, as the cop is sitting there saying, yeah, but I need documents. Like, I need receipts. I need evidence, which evidence is just another word for facts, correct? I need proof of these things that you're saying. You're not giving me anything. And did you notice, as the cop is saying this, Lauren's got John on the phone, and she's going, I hear you. I hear you. What is Gray Baby doing over there on her little computer? Tick, tick, tick. What's she doing? She's typing, isn't she? A lot. A whole lot. Gray Baby. Are you the one to type those Proton emails? Come on, fess up. Were you inventing evidence? There you go. That's it, right? So I think that they're in trouble and they don't know it. They are so self-absorbed. They are so self-important. They've had so many YouTube subscribers blowing smoke somewhere in the body where smoke is not supposed to exist. I think they've now believed the illusion, hey, we are a big deal. What do you guys think? If you think that Mr. John Matthias may have let his mouth overload his ass, if you think that's a possibility, put a 1 in the chat. If you think he was perfectly well behaved during his interactions and chat with the uniformed law enforcement, put a 2. I think he stepped over the line. Lauren says multiple times in her own hidden way, hey, excuse me, law enforcement officer, I'm kind of a big deal. Okay, I'm a big deal. My husband, well, he's about half of a big deal. He's the co-big deal, right? But I'm the main big deal. I'm now a public figure, Mr. Law Enforcement. But you know, my husband, he's only half of a big deal as I am. He's the co-host. But he is a criminal psychologist. So maybe you could tell us how to take our story, Mr. Law Enforcement Officer, and parlay that into a crime. We're just here trying to figure that out. And we sure appreciate you, Mr. Law Enforcement Officer, for helping us do that, helping us commit fraud against our ex-friends, because our ex-friends are now telling the truth about what kind of people we really are. And we don't want them to tell the people who we really are. We want to keep that all hidden. Duh, Mr. Law Enforcement Officer. The name of our channel is, in fact, Hidden True Crime. Well, we also need to hide who we really are, like what kind of people we actually are. Like my husband, well, he's kind of a big deal. He is a forensic psychologist. And then she waits to see if the law enforcement officer is going to go, ooh, right? Oh, is he going to be impressed by my forensic psychology husband? Law enforcement is like, yeah, I don't know that. I don't do that kind of law. Maybe you need, that's federal. I can't help you with federal. The cop has zero use for this woman or her pompous husband. Okay. Zero use. You can hear it in the cop's voice. The cop is just like, you guys are full of crap. You're totally full of crap. You are telling me a story and you're wanting me to invent crimes for you to cover up the fact that you don't want the truth to come out. Mr. Matthias, you know what? The truth matters, Mr. Matthias. If what is said is the truth, the judge is going to say that's 100% allowable by law. It is the way the law is actually written. And then you said, oh, well, we need to talk to those internet people. We need you to give us a referral because don't you know how special I am? I'm special. My wifey, well, the first wife, Lauren, she's special, but actually, Mr. Law Enforcement, my second wife, Gray Baby, well, she's my favorite right now because she's like young and stuff. And she worships me. But my first wife is sort of onto me. So she doesn't really, worship me anymore. But never mind. So I am a big deal. And I would like you to contact my wife's ex-friends and threaten them. Could you do that for us, please? Just because we're all the same. You are as special, Mr. Law Enforcement Officer, as myself and Lauren, the first wife. You are part of our little club. So we're going to include you. That is another form of manipulation, isn't it? It is a parallel to love bombing. So that term specifically, love bombing, that is for romance romance scammers or people that might not have authentic love relationships, so they use love bombing to pretend. But to create false alliances where you take someone of lower status or lower power, lower income perhaps, and you say, oh, well, you and I, we really know how it is, don't we? We know how it is. And people like me and you, we have to stick together. We have to stick together and make great things happen in the world because those other people, those lowly people, they're different than us, right? So it is absolutely 100% manipulation. There were several very specific moments. There were some vague moments too, but very specific moments where Dr. John clearly oversteps the limits of the law. The truth is, when we are talking about Nevada law, attempting to get law enforcement to intimidate, harass, or take any type of an adverse action against a private citizen is illegal in the United States. You can't use your friends because you're a high status person and you say, well, I need you to go and intimidate this person for me so they don't sue me. You in the United States of America, that is highly illegal, John Matthias. And I find that a little bit surprising that you felt you could do that because you claim to be this great forensic psychologist. Wouldn't you know that that was illegal? Like, wouldn't you have had clients perhaps that had that done to them or they themselves had done it? And that would be something that you would really want to assess for like malingering and such, right? So why did you believe that this was okay? Not once, John Matthias, have you stopped to say, did my wife do the things that her friends or her ex-friends are claiming that she did? Did my wife say these things? Did my wife do these actions? And unfortunately, John Matthias, there's a lot of body cam where you or your wife called the cops. You actually contributed to your own demise. Have you heard that saying that if you are vengeful, if you come for vengeance, you better dig 2 graves? You heard that before? In short, if you think you're going to go hurt someone because you're feeling self-righteous and they hurt you somehow and you're going to teach them a lesson, well, really and truly, there's no way to do that without also harming yourself. So you're going to need two graves, one for the person that you're trying to seek vengeance on and one for yourself. I'm not sure that ever have I seen a finer example of that sentiment than this right here. The recordings were at your behest or that of your wife. You guys called the cops apparently repeatedly. Apparently, you guys were bound and determined that you were going to perhaps intimidate, perhaps form false alliances, somehow or another, maybe use your status as public figures, as being the host on a 300,000 subscriber channel. Somehow you were going to use a power differential, Dr. John, that you would actually trump up fake, illegitimate, illegal activities when none existed. You were trying to get this law enforcement to call Gigi of True Crimes and Alibis, a woman who came out and said, look, I don't want any part of this nonsense. They did hurt me. There were things that were said about me. And that's all I want to say. It is real. Lauren did these things. And I would like to continue being a professional journalist and not go any deeper into what they did. Man, John Matthias, you're going to tell me that you lack the wisdom to have recognition that you should have taken that deal and run? You should have told your wife to zip it? That's incredible. Truly incredible. And yet you didn't. You called the cops. You called the cops. You called the cops. You called the cops. And that has left a trail of police body cam. You know what that's called, John? Evidence, isn't it? A paper trail of the highest order, the highest quality of paper trail. What was the crime? Intimidating or enticing a uniformed law enforcement officer to intimidate, harass, take adverse action against a private citizen when there was no legitimate legal basis for that. And to the credit of this officer, he laughed at your dumbass. All right. So these laws fall under criminal statutes, John Matthias. Criminal statutes, not civil, criminal. So let's watch a little bit of this video. Am I not? There we go. Sorry, my screen froze for a moment. Excited utterances from Australia. If you have not watched their channel, put a 1. I'm curious. They are delightful. I am so loving their lives. Have y'all seen them? Australia Excited Utterances. I think it's AU. Maybe I got that wrong. Hold on, let me see. It is Hella. I'm sorry. Hella, HELLA, and then an AU, Excited Utterance. Okay, and I'm going to put the link in the side chat. And I am telling you, if you have not gone to listen to them, you are missing out. They are so cute. They are so funny. Such a great channel, and they are so normal. you know what they are? They are a breath of fresh air on these streets of YouTube. So I absolutely hope that you will go over and watch them. They are really, really wonderful. Yeah, Woodman, it is conversational, right? And so for those of us that like the social interaction, the parasocial, friendships, they're they're fun. If you like, hard cold facts without a lot of discussion, Plunder is amazing channel. But this new one with excited utterances, I'm loving them. Okay. So here is the link to their channel. Please go over, subscribe, tell them I sent you, the whole 9 yards. I followed Hidden True Crime. The 9-hour live confused me. The almost 4-hour live took me out. They burned their own kingdom down. Thank you, Phoenix Flying. That was well said. Absolutely well said. All right. This whole June police thing was new to me until I saw it yesterday. All right. Hey, Bling. I didn't know that was you. Welcome. Hope you are feeling well and doing well. They're so funny, DD. I like them so much. Okay. So let's take a listen. Again, you'll recognize this is the same interview police manipulation day in Henderson. This is a law enforcement officer from the Henderson Police Department. And basically, they're putting pressure on this cop to put pressure on Gigi of Hidden True Crimes and Alibis. And yeah, Lauren Matthias invokes the name of Colby Ryan. She pulls back away from that and says, no, I don't want to involve a victim. Honey, you passed that line a long time ago, okay? So let's go ahead and me too, Ruth. It is so crazy. It's so crazy. All right, so let's take a listen, educate ourselves about the real John Matthias.
By this, yeah.
Yeah, and the other people to be hurt, then they would be the victims, though, not you. So I understand that you're feeling for them and you don't want them to be hurt. I understand that. But at that point, if they are hurt, that would be them going after persons based on them being the victim of whatever that is. Does that make sense?
June 9th, June 9th was the second one.
Yeah.
The email was, if you only knew 111, the subject was the truth will come out. Hidden true crime, more like hidden true lies. All of it will come to light. Your trash talking Kay Woodcock, Heather Daybell, Gigi, Justin Lund, Navy, and Ashley Bishop, Susan Hendricks, Rob Wood, Rachel Smith, and Ray Hermes. All of them are BCC'd on this email. Your text messages will prove it.
Okay.
Like they have her text messages.
But they haven't sent them out though.
They have. We just haven't. People are calling me saying I have them. I've got files.
So you've seen the text messages.
I've
Did they say where they got them from?
We know some. I know
We could give you people who do know where they came from. So we called someone today.
So they would have to.
That's the person who said News Nation has reached out, Long Crime has reached out, and she said
They would have to be willing to work with us to help us find that. So that's the challenge as well.
This person,
because news people, they're like, we don't want to reveal our sources.
I think this person.
So that's the big challenge too.
I think she would.
Then is this going to be considered slander? Have you talked to your brother about slander?
We talked about everything. I mean, I called him this morning. I had a meeting with him this morning when I started realizing how this kind of happened this morning. As I've been working behind the scenes for a few days trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah, Grayson, we're all a little sketchy. We're all looking at this with a great deal of speculation. When you say you're working behind the scenes, that's exactly what everybody believes. Like we all believe that this is contrived BS, and you're a big part of fraud. That if it is you, or it was you, Grayson, that wrote these threatening Proton emails, because Lauren and you both seem to know a lot about Proton and hiding your identity through Proton. If it were to be come out that you guys actually invented the Proton emails so that you would have a paper trail for the cops, so that you would have evidence in a court of law, if you guys were the ones that actually did that, that's a hella true crime. Not a hidden true crime, a hella true crime, Grayson. So I think you're having what Jay, Every Day with Jay calls leakage. I think that's leakage. I think we all believe that you're working behind the scenes, Grayson. And unfortunately, for illegal and nefarious purposes. The reality is this, Lauren. You're trying to use law enforcement, the court system, to hide what you really do. Like, you're trying to use the law in an illegal manner to hide the reality of your actions. And you can't do that, Lauren. That is illegal all on its own. You can't try to get other people. I mean, you did it, didn't you? You got your little friend, the detective, who was a homicide detective. What the hell, John Matthias, what is a homicide detective doing going after a person who's not charged with any crime or even under any investigation? You did that. You set that up. You set it up. You were very manipulative. You planned it. You wanted ultimate pain. You wanted the public humiliation of a young mother, a single mother who wasn't hurting anyone other than she used to be your friend and you treated her like shit. And she said, I'm going to tell the truth about what you've done to me. I'm going to tell the truth about who you are. I'm not going to hide your nefarious behaviors and actions. You're lying to your whole YouTube community about who you are and what you're up to. Kay Woodcock, when you called her crying and apologizing to her for saying terrible things about her and her daughter and her family, she's still trying to be a good person. She's saying, Lauren, I would leave this alone if I were you. I would wait it out, give it a week or two, and another big story is going to come along. Don't try to control the situation. She told you. And really what she should have done is slam the door in your face, in my opinion. But she's a good person. Did you take her advice? No. You started calling the cops. You started manipulating the cops, lying to law enforcement. And in this video now, there is enough paper trail, Dr. John, that, I think somebody's going to end up, I think you're going to end up with criminal charges. I don't think it's going to be Christina with charges. I don't think so, not at all. I think this video we're watching right here is a smoking gun for what you guys did. So, of course, filing a false police report, it can either be a misdemeanor or a felony. If you call the police, file a report claiming a person committed a crime, knowing the claim is false, listen to this, John. This is always a crime. If you call the police or you file a report claiming that a person committed a crime against you, knowing that is false, this is always a crime. You committed a crime. When you said to the police officer, well, could we file we want to file like a report. We need to start creating like a paper trail. You're admitting to fraud. on police body cam, John Matthias. What? The brother attorney didn't tell you that? It's incredible. Falsely reporting someone threatened you. Falsely reporting that someone is suicidal. All of this with the goal of getting police involved, that you're trying to entice the police to confront another person, knowing it's not true. That is a crime. I'm suicidal now. I wake up in the middle of the night. Is there another post? I don't know what I'm going to do. And Dr. John told Gray Baby, don't leave her today. Stay with her. She's suicidal now. And you went with those claims to a judge to try to do what? Have Christina put in jail, a young mother, for 5 years. And why would you want Christina in jail for 5 years? Why would you go through these elegant machinations to have this innocent woman put into jail for 5 years? Because you, Dr. John, didn't want to interfere with your multi-million-dollar business endeavor of blood money, did you? Now, these things are real crimes in Nevada and Utah and Idaho. The penalties range from a misdemeanor that can be up to 1 year in jail to felonies, multiple years in prison. There's also swatting, and we've all heard about, these issues of swatting. There is a federal crime against swatting, providing false information to try and entice law enforcement to act aggressively toward an innocent person. I wouldn't be willing to say at all that what you did to Christina at CrimeCon was swatting, but I definitely believe that you manipulated law enforcement. You went to great lengths, Lauren, to manipulate detectives, homicide detectives. Oh, I'm in fear of my life. So that they would confront her and escort her out of CrimeCon, out of the hotel. You wanted her credibility destroyed. You wanted her reputation publicly ruined so that no one in the true crime community would believe her when the texts that Lauren wrote come out. John, surely at this point, you're sitting there going, oh, shit. This is all true. What this unknown crazy person online is saying. All right. Using the legal system primarily to harass, or what's the word, John? Intimidate, rather than for legitimate purposes that will trigger civil liability and criminal charges. I'll read it again. Using the legal system, asking for police reports, getting fake restraining order, submitting fake restraining order applications. You guys did both of those. And the reason that you did them was to harass and intimidate anyone that was going to come forward with the truth about Lauren. The truth. You guys never, not once, did you say that these women were lying about Lauren. Did you? Not once. And that is because you knew that they were not. In fact, John, not only did you dig your second grave by coming and getting all of these, police body cam episodes, you also dug a little bit on that second grave when you did your 4-hour live, because you minimized what your wife did. You acknowledged that she did those things. You acknowledged that she talked shit about victims of family mass murder. Kay and Larry Woodcock, Crescia, Colby, you acknowledged that these things were said and done. But what you said was, come on, guys, everybody needs to blow off a little steam. It's okay. We all have those group chats with our best friends where we talk smack about each other. That's okay. Well, I don't mind telling you, I don't have that. I don't have secret text groups where I'm talking mean about my other friends, or I'm making fun of people in my family, or I don't do that. I just do what I do. If there's someone I don't like, I just stay away from them. So why did you do that? Why did you normalize it and say, oh, come on, we all do that? She's just blowing off a little steam. Let's be honest. True crime, that's a heavy subject. You need to blow off a little steam. Not for healthy people, John. One of the reasons is that, those of us that talk about true crime, report on trials and things like that, the collective we, including my good friend Crescia, we don't have any desire to be the victim of a horrific crime. We're not in love with victimhood, John. We're not aching to be able to say, oh, my whole family was wiped out by the murder. My sister-in-law did it. None of us want that. None of us want to even imagine that hell on earth, John. But someone in your family does. Let's go on and listen to a little bit more of this.
And I get on a call with somebody this morning and somebody said, is Stephanie a former employee of Lauren's? And I said, yeah. Like, I didn't know this person knew who that was. And this person tells me, okay, well, I was told I should call. Nicole gives me everything. She has all those screenshots. She's the one with everything.
Okay.
And sent a cease and desist. We knew she was one of the ones that was doing all this behind the scenes.
But then you'd have to prove of that she shared after the fact.
Let's specify this. I think that somebody could tell you. I do think ex-police.
Yeah.
And if she knew that police were calling, I think that she might share the sources. She would.
Oh, Lauren too is enticing a uniformed law enforcement officer to harass a citizen when there exists exactly no suggestion of a crime. Y'all hear that? I'm just going to take a shot in the dark here, Lauren. I think you need a better attorney, okay? You guys are in trouble after this.
Share it with us.
Okay.
I do think, and she's the one who said that she had heard from Law and Crime and News Nation.
Okay, and so once again, hearing it and seeing it are two different things. Because then it's
She said,
Lauren, he's telling you there is no evidence of a crime that would push him to conduct an investigation or especially intimidate a private citizen. And yet, you are literally standing in front of him, kind of saying out loud, hey, we don't really know what to say. We don't really have any evidence. What we would like you to do is tell us what we're going to need to invent to get our needs met, which is, I don't want the truth to come out about who I am.
and it's
she received voice
hang on,
Okay.
because then it becomes hearsay. So because they're calling her doesn't mean she has the information. So she has to be directly connected with the person. So a person goes to Newsweek or whatever, Newsweek comes back down, that's not from her. That's through completely different sources. It has to be direct.
She did
So
say
she
files
said
and everything.
she has files and files of emails and texts, including voice memos.
But where'd she get them from? Well, I thought you asked her.
We asked her and she wouldn't tell us her source, so I think she would tell you. But that was the question. Like you said, would they tell?
Yeah.
You don't have to call if you don't want to, but I'm just.
No. I mean, if she's not going to
No, he
share with
doesn't, Lauren. He doesn't have to call if he doesn't want to. And here's the big part, Lauren. He cannot call unless he's conducting an investigation. And right now, it would be illegal for him to do that. He has no reason to believe whatsoever that there's been a crime committed. Nothing you're showing. You have no evidence. There are no receipts that this man will feel like, okay, now I have some suspicion. I can legally start an investigation. You and your husband are trying to entice a uniformed law enforcement officer to act like a knee breaker.
you, then I don't know why she would share with me because she doesn't have to. I'm guessing she's in the industry, right? So once she ruins her reputation by giving up sources, then what's her job going to be?
I think.
I mean, I could have a conversation with her.
I hear you.
So that's the challenge of being in this kind of
I hear
situation.
So I was also in the real news for a long time.
Mhm.
And so I kind of understand more how.
The great Lauren Matthias, I was in the real news as she motions towards the television, right? Was it Channel 6 in the local market? Was that the real news? Because there are YouTube creators that get 3 times as many views as a local news station. Sorry, Lauren, this idea of the real news, it's over. The real news, I think you're referring to corporate news, right? It's dead on arrival, Lauren. It's an artifact. The real news is a thing of the past. It's over. 95% of the American public get their news from the internet. That is a true statistic. I don't know why you think it is such a big deal that you were on Channel 6 in a local market, not national. Why do you throw that around like you've got clout? You have zero clout. Your integrity is for shit. You guys have, Christina didn't have to do anything to show who you guys are. Y'all have done this. It's yours. We have body cam. We have videos of you doing these crazy, bizarre 9-hour lives. Nobody did this, Lauren, but you.
It works. She's an excellent journalist. She's a great journalist. She has not been
talking about Gigi of true crimes in Alabama. What is it? True crime lies and alibis. That's who she's talking about. And the reason she's talking about Gigi is because she was brutal against Gigi. She's jealous of Gigi. She apparently hated Gigi, and she talked horrible smack about Gigi. But then to her face, she was all, moonlight and roses and honey dripping off and making Gigi think that she was her friend. I guess, more of her insidious, gross behavior, perhaps.
She's an excellent journalist. She's a great journalist. She has not been in the real news.
Mm-hmm.
As we motion again towards the television. Look, I have been on the real news. See the television there? You used to be able to see my face there. I was the real news. Gigi is a good journalist. She's not as good as me, but she's a good journalist. And Gigi was never a real news person. And so I think she would tell you because she would be intimidated by a law enforcement officer. So I think you could trick Gigi into telling you. Y'all see how this goes? You see how it is? Snakes. Snaky, snake, snake. I don't like spider snakes. And that ain't what it takes, believe me. Ooh, terrible woman.
Yeah.
I believe that if police called her, she might say that I received it from this person.
Okay.
But you know, I hear you, and I respect that. Like journalists wouldn't share, and she might not, but I think she might.
Control 3 out of 1. I'm with PR. Go 4.
When I talked to her today, she told me.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe we don't want to. I mean, do we want to make this?
Have you talked? Has your brother suggested calling us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and you could call my brother.
And what did he feel? What crimes did he feel that were surpassed? I should say.
Yeah.
Because some of that stuff is more civil than it is criminal.
Yeah, so he's
You know what I think the brother said, the lawyer? I think the brother said, you guys got to have receipts. You guys don't have a paper trail. You don't have it. Y'all don't have anything to get any of this done. So maybe you could call a little podunk police officer and maybe they would, at least give you a little incident report that you could then turn around and use in a court of law as evidence. This totally illegal what they're doing.
Extortion would be criminal, but other things within this could be more on a civil level than a criminal level.
Yeah, forgive me, I'm getting some water.
That's fine. Do you have an identification or a driver's license I can just jot down quick? Do you got a Nevada driver's license or from another state?
I have a Nevada driver's license.
Okay.
Here is a cease and desist. He said unauthorized access of private accounts, dissemination of private.
But we don't know that she did that after the fact or before. If she took all this information before the cease and desist. And here's the thing, I'm not saying it's possible one way or the other. What I'm saying is anything that I would have that may be criminal would go before a judge or actually before a district attorney. Then the district attorney would have to look at it and say, yes, I think we have enough information to go forward into court. So in a sense, I almost act like a judge in a sense, being like, what do I have? Because if I don't have nothing, or if I have questionable information, or a third party is telling me this information by hearsay, I don't have nothing.
What he just said, Lauren, let me interpret English for you since you and John don't seem to understand that language, okay? He just said to you, there's no crime. You have given me nothing that even remotely sounds like a crime. I don't even have enough information to even start an investigation, even if I wanted to. And frankly, I don't want to. I think all of your BS about, oh, well, I am a real reporter. I was on real news. None of these other yahoos on YouTube, none of them were on television. I was on television. And my husband, my family, he is a criminal psychologist, and that makes him more important than you. So if he tells you to open up a police report, I fully expect you to do that. And we would like a referral to the FBI since you are too low powered to help us. That's what he's saying, Lauren. that he knows what y'all are.
I work on facts. That's what we do as police officers. We're supposed to.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
So that's
I hear you.
so yeah, the information prior compared to the information after, that's where the NDA would have saved a lot of headaches. But the cease and desist, there would have to be proof of her continuing this process after the fact.
Right.
So that would be like contacting all these people that have this information and saying, who did you get it from? And them saying it was from her, and then say, when did you get it from her?
I'm sitting down for
So-
information, not to. Should we call John? I think the other concern too is they might have even just like text between my husband and myself. From what it sounds like.
I'm sorry, say it again.
They might have texts between my husband and myself.
Okay.
He's my co-host. He's a criminal psychologist.
Okay.
And
All
I
this
hear you.
bullshit name dropping. Okay. No, she is naming her husband by name, but I went over that in one of my previous videos. People that do that, people that say, they don't just say, oh yeah, I'm the person that called for police assistance. They say, I'm the person that called for police assistance. I am a forensic psychologist. What they're really saying to you is, I'm an important person. I'm a big deal. I'm a bigger deal than you are, and you work for me, buddy. So whatever I ask for, you damn well better be jumping. You better do it. That's what this is designed for. I'm a journalist. I was in Real News. Don't treat me like you would a regular person. I'm not a regular citizen. I'm special. The rules don't apply to me. I'm a forensic psychologist. You tell me what you can do to bend the rules for we special people. That's what this couple's engaged in. It's shocking.
Go by facts. I understand that. And a lot of this is in the works, right? So like, it's right.
Exactly.
I'm sharing. So we get it. We're sharing circumstantial evidence with you that could later become a fact.
What? What did you say? Like, really, what just came out of your mouth?
The other
Listen to
concern
this.
too is they might have even just like text between my husband and myself. From what it sounds like.
I'm sorry, say it again.
They might have texts between my husband and myself.
Okay.
He's my co-host. He's a criminal psychologist.
Okay.
And I hear you. You go by facts. I understand that. And a lot of this is in the works, right? So like.
In the works? A lot of this is in the works, little peon law enforcement officer. Don't you understand, officer? We are part of the elite crowd. We bend the laws to fit our circumstances. So we are just consulting with you to find out what elements we need to be sure that we can prove and exactly how we're going to be able to do that. And John then comes on and he finishes this up by saying, I'm going to need you to invent some evidence for me because I'm important that way. Action points, invent evidence for me. Oh, yeah. And I'll be needing a referral to the FBI because I'm just kind of a big deal. I'm that guy.
It's right.
Exactly.
I'm sharing. So we get it. We're sharing circumstantial evidence with you that could later become a fact. But I hear you.
Okay. What? You are sharing circumstantial evidence that could later become a fact. I'm sorry. People in the chat, what does that mean? Anybody, can you help me understand why circumstantial evidence would suddenly become a fact? What does that mean? Does anyone have the slightest idea what this woman is saying? It's in the works. That is code for we're making shit up. It's in the works. It's all a lie. We're committing fraud to hurt a young mother. That's what we're doing. We're taking someone who was once my friend. She was my friend. I treated her badly. Now she's upset and she's going to bring receipts that show that I am an awful person. But listen to how little self-awareness these two bozos have. There's so much little, the lack of self insight is so bad that as she is trying to silence the truth, like it really happened, right? As she tries to silence truth, she's actually demonstrating on police body cam what a horrible person she is. And then surprisingly, John does exactly the same thing, except it's not video, it's through audio. It's so bad, Inga. It is so bad what they are doing, have done. And please never forget, because here's the one fact that pissed me off. This was the one thing that tipped me right over the edge. Jules went over the cliff on this one. Who knows what it was? When you take a victim who has lost many family members to a homicidal maniac, and you, Lauren and John, take her to copyright claim court because you don't want her telling the truth. Yeah, that was it. That was the moment. You pushed me right off that cliff, and I said, the nerve of these two clowns. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I wasn't the only one pissed off either. I guess you guys have noticed how many channels have picked this up. Law and Crime has picked this up because they are aghast. The judge laughed at y'all, laughed at you guys, kicked you out of the courtroom, laughing at you guys as you left. This law enforcement agent or detective, officer has told you many times, you have nothing. You have nothing. You have nothing.
You need facts.
Mhm.
We're trying to figure this out. So thank you. So we get it. I'm a journalist. I work by facts too.
Oh, shut up.
Which all journalists should.
Yeah, and I understand what substantial evidence.
I'm gonna
is,
put this
what we're
on.
Figuring out. Let me
Trying to form an alliance with this guy.
call my husband. So he spoke. Oh, he's with Granny. So I think you could speak briefly.
What's your phone number real quick, since you're the victim?
Let me let you talk to my husband, because Lauren, I think my guess is she knows there's a fine line here, right? Probably her brother told her you need a police report, but it's gonna be hard to get one because you don't really have anything that's happened to you yet. So you better be real careful. You better not ask for the police report. You better be careful what you do with this cop, right? And she thinks, oh, John will definitely be able to handle this little officer peon. My big, strong criminal forensic psychologist, he'll know exactly what to say. Nope, he didn't. No, wrong. He jumped from the frying pan into the fire, basically.
Like, I don't know if you know the Lori Vallow Daybell case. Do you know?
We don't give a shit, Lauren. This officer doesn't care about the Lori Vallow homicidal maniac. Okay? He doesn't care. What he cares about is that he has been called to this very nice apartment to be confronted with a couple of women who are trying to get him to invent evidence. That's what he cares about. He's thinking, sister, I ain't going to jail for none of yous. I'm not going to be, kicked out of it, had my badge taken. I'm not doing anything illegal. I don't care how important you are, lady. I don't care. Unless you got a reason for there to be an investigation, I ain't doing nothing wrong. He's telling you this. So what do? You realize, oh, I'm not getting anywhere. I think I better call the great and powerful Oz. Oh, I'm sorry, John.
No, I like watching To Catch a Smuggler and stuff like that. And
Okay, well, it's a Netflix.
the cops,
documentary.
bad boys, and so
Yeah,
the other stuff interests me. It's just I don't have the time to sit down and.
Right. Well, that's this case that's really impacted that we were
Uh-huh.
covering. She mom who killed her two kids and her husband and the whole thing.
Mhm.
It's a very viral.
A very viral true crime case, not a little bit viral, not a little bit, not a small amount, very viral true crime. And I just want you to know, Officer Peon, you are looking at my queen. Lauren is my queen, Officer Peon. You will give her the respect that she deserves because she reported on a very viral true crime case. So you with the pencil there, you stop writing when my queen is speaking. She has important things to say, and I, Gray Baby, I am not going to just sit here and listen to your nonsense, Officer Peon.
True crime case. That's what we've been
Has a
covering.
Netflix documentary to it, Dateline. So
Now, I don't know how many times Lauren says a Netflix documentary has a Netflix documentary has a Netflix documentary. Why does she keep saying that? Why does she keep making that reference? I will tell you why. Because she and John were in the documentary. It's not enough that it was a Netflix documentary. She has got to really grab onto that false, fake clout by saying it wasn't just one episode, Officer Peon. There were 7 datelines about the case. 7. Officer Peon, have you ever been on Netflix? Well, I have. And my criminal psychology husband has as well. And if we tell you to write a police report, we mean it, buddy. That is what is happening here.
7 Datelines.
Yeah.
My husband spoke to the. Well, I don't want to get him involved. Again, I don't want to get a victim involved right now. So,
Okay. Real quick, what'd you say?
Who was the victim? The him had to be Colby, right? She came so close to exploiting poor Colby once again. My husband has spoken with Colby many times. My husband is the psychologist for Colby because he's such a great psychologist. Oh, she's like, oh, I better not say that. Oh, people won't like that. But that's what she was gonna do. That's what was in her gut. That was her instant reaction. And this is definitely a moment in time where she demonstrated good decision, right? She was aware. So congratulations, Lauren. Just shocked the shit out of me that you did the right thing.
So your friend's name is then, and a phone number that may talk to us?
Gigi.
I don't know if she'd consider us a friend right now.
How
do you spell her last name?
Friend. You've talked shit about her a lot.
And she told me on the phone today, well, if you think this is against the law, then you should be getting law enforcement involved. And I said, we've had attorneys involved in this for months. So she was well aware.
Right. So she said.
Well, and the attorney's going to be like, yes, I can see where this is breaking this law, so now we'll get him involved.
Full disclosure, she's received a lot of info because a lot of the private text messages have to do with her.
Okay.
So that's why I say
Because you are a jealous, sneaky snake. That's why. You are so jealous of her. She is living, she has so much accomplishment. She is living a life that you just salivate for, Lauren. That is the truth. That's why you talked crap on a very nice, high integrity person. You could learn something from her, sister.
I don't know if she'd consider me a friend right now.
You know, somebody that's willing to talk. What's the phone number? And she lives in what state?
I'm calling my husband on the phone right now just to
My husband. That's very proprietary. What happened to I'll be calling Dr. Matthias. I'll be calling a criminal psychologist to whip you into shape, you little whippersnapper. You little rude officer peon. My criminal psychologist husband is going to tell you what you should be doing. And you better listen up, bucko.
So
My
what?
husband's in a lot of work.
So it sounds like there's a lot of emotional stuff and
Yeah.
you're very upsetting stuff. I get it. So what area do you feel? Because right now, I hate to say it, but my point of view, and I'm going to call my sergeant and probably get a detective involved, at least for the initial information.
Thank you.
Right now, I'm not seeing a crime,
Oh,
but
God.
this is
He said it a second time on camera to your face. And you are still saying, but I'm important. I'm an important person. You're not treating me right. I'm important. You need to do what my husband says. This is a terrible look, Lauren.
this isn't my forte either.
Sure. That was my husband. My husband does criminal assessments here at the state.
Well, let's do a little more name dropping, Lauren. Fake, false credibility. Oh, but that is my husband, and he does assessments for the state, and he's very, very important. It's terrible. This is terrible. You honestly, you have destroyed your integrity through this entire debacle. All you needed to do was just say, I'm sorry. That's all you need to do. You should have just, no 9-hour live, no crying, snot slinging all over. All you needed to do was to say, I am so sorry. And then do exactly what Kay Woodcock said. Just lay low. This too will pass. If someone needs to put the facts out there, let them put them out. They're the facts. You were a big girl when you said it and did it. You better be a big girl when you got to take the heat. You couldn't do that. You have made this now a crime, Lauren.
Mhm.
Um,
Because people say a lot of crummy things about other people online and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to
Guys, let me ask you a question, those in channel. What does the fact that John Matthias is a licensed psychologist in Nevada and Utah, what does that have to do with what they have called the law enforcement officer for? Why? What does that have to do with it? When they're calling the police and they're saying, we need a police report, this girl is going to release our text messages. And it's going to hurt people when she does, because I said some terrible things. I'm a bad person. Why does she have to say my husband conducts assessments with the state, but they're pediatric assessments, by the way, but he conducts assessments for the state. Oh, yes. And he is licensed in Nevada and Utah. What do those facts have to do with why the law enforcement officer is there in the room? Can anyone tell me that? Like, what does that have to do with it? I'm actually licensed for interjurisdictional practice. I can practice in 42 states across the country. It took more money. It took more hoops to jump through, but I did it. So does that make me better than you, John Matthias? I'm just a little curious about this. According to you and Lauren, the fact that you can only practice in 2 states, I can practice, file insurance, get paid in 42 states. Does that mean that somehow I have more value as a human being than you do? Does that mean the laws are different for me than they are for you guys? No, I don't think so, Matthias. That's the entire point. There's nothing about you, John Matthias, that makes you more valuable than Christina or Gigi or Kay Woodcock or Kresha. Nothing. You are a public citizen. That's it. You're just a citizen. The laws that govern you are the exact laws that govern me. They're the exact laws that govern Kresha or Christina or anybody else, Lori Vallow. But you guys don't play by those rules, do you? You're not playing by those rules. You are trying to use your position as a licensed psychologist. You are trying to use that position to harm other people illegally, to use the law, bend the rules so that you can send a young mother to prison for 5 years. I am mystified that there are people listening in your channel that don't understand how egregious your behavior is. And what is it you're trying to save? You're trying to save the pipeline for the blood money. That's what you're trying to do. You don't want to lose out on your next million. Oh, it's not good. This is as bad as it gets, really.
To threats and harassments, there has to be very specific threat / harassment is a series of things for the most part. A threat is got to be very specific, and it really stinks for us as police officers, but it's even worse for the victim or the person that's being victimized. And the reason I say that is somebody could say, I'm going to come over, and make sure I take care of you. What does that mean?
Right.
Depends on what happened prior.
And John, in case you don't know, he's referring to the 3 standards in the Tarasoff decision. You might want to check that out too.
Right. We can document that kind of stuff, but does it mean they're going to come over and wash your car? Does it mean to come over and cook your food, tuck you into bed, or come over and, beat you up? It's not specific. It just says, I'm going to come over and take care of you. So that's where it's frustrating for victims, is they're like, but I know what they meant by this. And it's like, I understand you're feeling this way, but based on the verbiage, we can't go down the criminal route right now because they're not being specific enough. And it really stinks because they look at us like, why aren't you doing anything? It's not. It's like, my hands are tied because the Nevada law doesn't,
Right.
go down that
I
road.
understand what you're saying. Henry to it, Dateline, 7 Datelines.
Yeah.
My husband spoke to I don't want to get him involved. Again, I don't want to get a victim involved right now. So
Okay. Real quick, what'd you say your friend's name is then, and the phone number that may talk to us? There has to be very specific threat of verbiage. We can't go down the crime.
Working was not circumstantial evidence. We all talk to you about this. Let's. And this is me thinking as a whole about everybody involved. Do we want him to call Gigi right now? Could that escalate?
She said, and I quote, what about if we want him to call Gigi right now? I'm actually appalled that you believe that you can do that. that you have the gall to think that you can tell a uniformed officer how to conduct his job. That's shocking to me.
Things.
It makes me wonder if they will go public right now, just because it's like, let's just get it off our plate.
Yeah. And again, I am the victim, but there will be other victims.
What victim are you exactly? In what way have you been victimized? You said nasty things about people and they don't like it. And they want to tell the truth. You make public statements about these people, about their family. They have a right to give their opinion. They have a right to say what you said to them. They have that right.
There'll be other people that'll be victims the second
Right.
time. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like when they go to court and they let a killer free or something like that, or let them off with 2 years,
Correct.
then they get victimized a second time.
Correct. This is my husband.
You
I just
know,
let him
both
listen.
by the suspect and by the state.
Correct. Hey, babe, are you
Yeah.
there?
You know, that's where it's like, I don't know if it's worth it.
We have a
call
police.
right now.
We have a police officer here.
Sometimes there's that case like neighbors,
neighbors.
problems with neighbors. Sometimes they don't want us to contact the neighbor because they're afraid it'll inflame things.
Yes, yeah, you know.
Right. So he's understood. I just want you to know. At first, we were like, we just gave him what we've explained.
She's explaining to John Matthias what's happened in the conversation up to now.
Right now is like, look, I am the victim, but we have a big concern about the actual victims in the cases we cover and then being re-victimized by my pieces, by my private messages that come out. So at first, I just want you to know, and he understands that this is officer, what was your last name? I'm sorry. Bulby. He's great. And and we're working with circumstantial evidence right now. We know that. He understands, again, that we don't want to re-victimize any victims. So at first we're like, well, we know who you could figure out the source from and have all the information.
He never once said that you were right in your position, Lauren. He never once says, well, I understand you don't want to re-victimize the victims. None of that happened. That was invented out of your imagination to say to John. Lauren says, the reason we are trying to get a police report, me and Gray Baby, sister wives, the reason we want a police report is because we are loving, kind, empathetic women who want to protect victims. And when the information comes out, those victims are going to be hurt. What she doesn't seem to understand, like where she's not making the connection is, the words are hers. She did say that stuff. She did say horrible things about Kay Woodcock and her family. Horrible things. Horrible things. She did. She lied to them. She tricked them. She made them think that she was going to be their friend, but it was really all just to get dirt on the family so she'd have more videos to make money with. No one, not a single time has she said they're lying about me. I didn't say those things. It's not real. Not once. Not once. She knows she said it. She's saying she's a victim. She doesn't want to re-victimize the others. But any girl, Lauren, out of junior high understands if you talk shit about one of your friends to a group of your other friends, it's always going to get back to them. Always. Most girls that finish junior high, they've stopped doing that because they've been embarrassed that it got back to the original friend. Not you. You're rocking on to 50 years old. And you're still talking shit about people. And you don't care if they're people that have just buried 2 of their children in their family and a beloved brother. You don't care about that.
He said Gigi McKelvey, who wouldn't consider me a friend right now, but she had the information. And so he was going to call her. And now I'm rethinking because I think that could put fuel on the fire I'm just thinking about protecting everyone else. Do we want him to? I don't know if we should have him called
So
GG.
Lauren's goal, according what she's trying to make the police believe, I just don't want to hurt anybody. I just don't want anybody hurt. Now, wouldn't you think they would be aligned? I mean, this is their channel. They do the work together. They live together. They're talk on the phone every day together. Don't you think they probably have the same goals? Don't you think they're probably after the same outcome? No, you'd be wrong. Wait till you hear what the most critical item is for the licensed psychologist.
Right now or not? He wants to know because I don't want to hurt. Like, would that like make them release stuff now because they
just want to get it over.
they're angry, right? Is this the Streisand effect where, you know?
What if I want, so can you hear me?
He can hear you or you're on.
Okay. The most important thing is we're about to have, you know, all our hard work is about to be threatened or go down the drain in a minute, in an instant, right? Like, I mean, my goal is to get them to stop.
The licensed psychologist only cares that the channel, his path to $3 million, is about to go down the drain. That's it. That's the critical item for John Matthias, PhD. That's it. Down the drain. Not they're spreading lies. What, we don't hear that, do we? The thing I'm worried about is this family, Krusha's family. They have experienced such heartache, such trauma. I don't want them hurt anymore through any device of ours. I don't want them hurt. I don't care how bad it is for me and Lauren. I don't care. I don't want them hurt. You hear that? No, you don't hear that. Boy, what a babe he is, right? The critical thing is we are about to lose our avenue to millions of dollars. We don't want to lose that. We don't want the truth to come out about what kind of person my wife is, because that is going to make a majority of her subscribers leave the channel. And that will mean I won't have any money to spend. That's it right there. What y'all think of that? These people sat and ate dinner with Larry and Kay Woodcock during the trials, during the investigation, when Larry and Kay Woodcock were in a huddle on the floor because their grandson had been ravaged, brutalized by his homicidal maniac mother. These people, they saw the grief firsthand. And now they're suing them to not tell their story. They're suing them so they can't tell. He says it. His words. The critical thing. All our hard work is about to go down the drain, and I don't want to go back and do a real job. Lauren sat with the family during the Chad Daybell trial. And do you know what she's doing now? She's doing the same thing to Monkey Vaughn's family, to Brandy Vaughn, that she did to Kay Woodcock. She is insidious. And it is all for her financial gain. I gotta tell you, this licensed psychologist is not the same licensed psychologist that I know. The people that I'm friends with, the people I'm aligned with, this would never happen. Never. There is nothing on this planet that could make a ethical mental health expert knowingly exploit a grandmother of a viciously murdered child. Nothing. Oh yeah, totally. I think this will be great. We'll befriend Lori. We'll keep it a secret. It'll be a ruse. We'll get in with the family. We'll cook them dinner. We'll take them out. We'll invite them to our house for vacation time. We'll make good friends with them. And then we'll get the good stuff. Then we'll get the background and history. We'll be able to make videos and report on this poor, brutalized family in a way that no one else could do. And then we will be the desired talk show guests. We'll have Law and Crime asking us to come on. We'll be going on Dateline. They'll do a Netflix documentary about us. We will be on top of the world, Ma. A licensed psychologist. John, how long since you blew the dust off that ethics code, buddy? How long? How long have you stopped to think about integrity? I'm having a really hard time believing that anyone would believe that what was just heard on this recording, that the most critical thing for you is that all your hard work is about to go down the drain because my wife is nasty. She says things about people. She tricks people into thinking they're her friends. They tell them her secrets as a friend. And then when she is done with them, she dumps them. She goes out in a blaze of glory that makes other people hate her guts. I don't care. I don't care how nasty she is. I don't care what she had to say about the murder victims' families. I just like my $3 million. That's the critical thing. We need to protect my money, Officer Peon. Now, what are you going to do to help me with that? What laws can we bend so that we can get an investigation and put this girl in prison for 5 years? That'll teach her. Then she won't speak truth. Think about it. Any of you that are overlooking this reality, any of you guys that say you love Lauren, you are completely misunderstanding what these people are.
Publishing private emails, text, voicemails, right? They hacked into all our stuff. It's illegal.
Honestly, there's that word, right? I mean, Chase Hughes says if somebody starts a sentence with honestly, open your ears up because a lie's coming. People that are telling the truth don't say, well, honestly, blah, blah, blah. He says, honestly, they hacked into all of our stuff. Why did he say that? Because he knows if Lauren gave access, she's given a seal of approval. They can do what they want to with any information they find there. It's the hacking that is a crime. See the problem? They tried to say that it was extortion. They're extorting me. They've got my embarrassing personal emails and text. And the cop's like, it's not extortion. They haven't asked for anything. They haven't asked for anything of value. They haven't asked you to do anything in terms of behavior. In no way is it extortion. They get nothing in return. All they're saying is they're just going to put truth out. It's theirs. If they were in the conversation with Lauren, it is information that belongs to them. They can publish it. So John saying, honestly, they hacked into everything. No, they didn't. You knew to say that. You're manipulating this officer. You know, lying is something that old ethics code says better not do. I'm thinking you need to take some, continuing education hours, John.
By Nevada statute and federal law, for them to share private information without our consent. We never gave consent.
Yes, you did.
If calling her is going to prevent them.
You have no idea what this woman did in terms of consent. You want to know something, John? As you guys are sitting there having this conversation, trying to entice this law enforcement officer to break the law, Gray Baby is sitting over there typing away, tippy tappy. She says at one point, oh, well, we have this in your iCloud. She's in Lauren's iCloud as a function of work. And when you guys gave her that right to be in the text messages, the iCloud, and everything else, you bozos did not ask for an NDA, did you? That means if you give her permission to be in the iCloud, to see the documents, look at the phone, the text messaging, if you guys gave her the freedom and the ability to upload videos into your YouTube channel, if you did any of that, guess what? They can do whatever they want with anything they find there, unless you gave her an NDA. I 100% believe that these women that were working for Lauren, Janice, Grayson, Christina, and others, I guarantee you, Miss Big Shot right here, she was making all of them work. You get into her accounts because she was being queen of the world. And boy, did she make a tactical decision. More importantly, John is lying. John understands what the law says about this, and he knows she totally gave him permission. Who remembers during the 9-hour live when Lauren said, and I quote, I just threw my phone at Grayson and I told her to go through every single text message. Who remembers that? Anybody? So why, if she gives permission, if she gives such open access to everyone, why wouldn't she have given it open access to Janice and Christina? They were working too, weren't they, Diane? Absolutely. So, and here's another one. If you do a email chain and you just keep hitting respond and forward, all of those BCCs, they're still there. That means if you included somebody on the original email and you just hit reply or forward, they are legally receiving every email and every response within that chain. Is that how Christina came out with everything? Because you guys are playing fast and loose with information. The truth is, she should have everybody signing an NDA. Anyone that touches her business needs to have an NDA. I would even have an NDA against each other.
Stop them from publishing, then it's probably worth it.
But if it's not, she's not going to be the one that publishes it.
Well, but it'll get back to the source though. And also, I mean, can you call like Stephanie?
You hear that? What does that mean? It'll get back to the source. Listen to this again. The whole thing. I'm not going to talk this time, so you can listen to the whole thing.
Illegal by Nevada statute to get them to stop, to have, you know, all our hard work is about to be threatened or go down the drain in a minute, in an instant. right? Like, I mean, my goal is to get them to stop publishing private emails, text, voicemails, right? They obviously they hacked into our stuff. It's illegal by Nevada statute and federal law for them to share private information without our consent. We never gave consent. So if calling her is going to prevent them or stop them from publishing, then it's probably worth it.
But if it's not, she's not going to be the one that publishes it. Like,
Well, but it'll get back to the source though. And also,
What does that mean? It'll get back to the source. John Matthias, you in front of an uniformed law enforcement officer, you were talking about threats. You were talking about intimidation, and not just any intimidation, but the enticement of a law enforcement officer to intimidate, harass, or take adverse action against a private citizen when there is no legitimate legal basis to do so. That is always illegal in the United States. It is a criminal act to get a law enforcement officer to intimidate, harass a private citizen. And that is exactly what you wanted. You wanted this guy, and to his credit, he knows his business. He knows his job. He knows the limits, which is a hell of a lot better than I can say for you, Mr. Matthias. But you wanted the cop to call Gigi, put the fear of the law into Gigi so that Gigi would then tell the source, you better not release those because these people are going to take you to jail. You broke the law. And it's all here on body cam.
I mean, can he call like Stephanie Budge?
well, let's say he calls. Let's say he calls and he says, "There's no law that's broken right now." As she asks, does that empower them?
Well, but they know. I'm sure the officer knows the Nevada statutes. Nevada is a party consent state. You can't just share private stuff without consent. And you never gave consent.
Yeah, but if Lauren is saying, hey, come work with me, here's my YouTube login, here's how to get into my documents in the iCloud, then she did give permission.
Okay?
Here's where
It's terrifying. It's terrifying to me that,
Terrifying? Really, John? You're terrified? What are you? 6'4", 410 pounds? You're terrified? What exactly are you afraid of? Oh, yeah, all that money, all that beautiful green money.
And it should be terrifying to like every citizen in Nevada that somebody can just take your private correspondence and play it on blast publicly.
Nobody's terrified of that, John, because we're aware every time we write something, every time we send an email, every time we send a text, be careful what you say, because once you write it, it's there forever. It can be shared with anyone. It can be used as a weapon. It can be used something that exonerates you. Every professional adult is aware you better not write down anything that you wouldn't want printed across the front of the New York Times. Everyone seems to know that, but you and your wife. And I'll tell you this, as a psychologist or someone who is working in a bureaucracy, do you know how much training you have to go through in terms of like keeping your computer, keeping your communications safe, and being aware of what is private information, what is protected information, what you can send through email, what you should never ever send through email? Do you know how much training this bozo has been through? if what he says is true about working for the prisons, why in the world wouldn't he like caution Lauren? Now, I know she's the supposed journalist, but I know damn well if you work in a bureaucracy and you're working with privately protected information, it is a constant training on you can say this, you can't say that. You can't use that information, you should use this information. You can't email this, but you can email that or text this. It's constant. It's all the time. It's continuing education every day with something related to private protected information. Now, all he's doing, he recognizes, he knows his wife is a bozo. His wife really just messed up all the way around. But what he's doing, he's using his clout as a licensed psychologist in an improper and unethical and potentially illegal manner to say, hey, give me a break here. And we need to work together. We're on the same team, buddy. The rules are for the little people. The laws are for them out there. They're not for people like me and you, Officer Peon. We're special. No, you're not, John.
So this is not my exact forte, right? I'm a patrol officer.
And I love the dog in the background. Can I just say, the dog in the background is just like, oh, geez, these people, Grayson, where did you come up with these clowns? Like the dog is over it. The dog is just like, oh, this is, it's a dog's life.
I already said that I talked to my sergeant about this, and if we have to get a detective involved, we will. At the same time, though, there was no non-disclosure agreement. So if she gave passwords to employees to do business on her behalf, then there's kind of a gray area of how public is it compared to private.
Bingo. 100% absolutely already settled in the courts. We already know the truth. That's why nearly everyone, when they start a new job, they sign an NDA. Except for Queen Lauren.
I never gave,
or part of the business doings per se.
I never gave, sorry, I don't know what that sound is. I never gave permission for any iCloud access or any phone access.
Grayson was in your iCloud looking at your documents with that law enforcement officer in the room with you, right there, just then. She's pulling up your email. You said during the 9-hour live that you gave your phone to Grayson to go through every one of your text messages. An attorney will have no trouble saying, if you did that for Grayson, we can just assume that you did it for everybody else. Not to mention the problem with the BCCs. If you had these email chains that were simply being replied to or forwarded, every single one of them had the hidden carbon copy on it. Every one of them went to every person included in the BCC every time you hit reply, which gave them a complete string of emails.
Access, which is what I think they. Yeah, or Gmail accounts, actually, you're right.
There's no consent here. There's no consent.
Sorry, John. There does seem to be consent. There's no consent. We were hacked. We were hacked. No consent. Oh, he's only saying that because he knows that that is a minimum standard for that law, right? For that crime. Sorry, the judge has already laughed at you. The judge has already laughed.
Any private information, and this person never had access to any private information.
But okay, so for
And to be fair, Mr. Matthias, how do you know what your wife did? You were at home taking care of the child. You don't know what she was doing. You don't know who she was having dinner with. You don't know who she was sleeping with at the end of trial every day. You really don't know. You're just like the rest of us. You know what she told you. So I don't know why you're in the background screaming at this officer, no consent, never consent, never was consent, no consent. Why are you doing that? Your wife's not saying that, is she?
Right now, as far as we know, so here's my challenge. So there's somebody, you guys have an idea of who this person is, and we're finding out through third parties that some information was already shared because you have screenshots, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So those third party people would have to be willing to talk to us to give up their source to say, yes, it came straight from this person.
And the reason the cop is saying that even a person that releases it, they're going to have to be willing to give up the original source, because it's the original source who would be the one that would have the power to grant permission or give away stuff, right? Anything else is just hearsay, which is why it's not really admissible in court. I mean, it can be for some, there's some exceptions, but all that aside, he's saying, who's the source? Who's the source? It's going to come back to an employee. And we see Grayson, she's got access.
And if they're investigative reporters, I don't know how many investigative reporters are going to want to give up their sources, because that's going to tarnish their reputation.
That's right.
So if we had a way to figure that out without them, I mean, not saying we can't call them, but if there's a way to figure that out without them.
And as this is happening, Lauren has turned her back to this police officer, and she is whispering at Grayson. Grayson is looking at her really sharp, trying to figure out what she's saying. And then suddenly Grayson starts typing.
So if we had a way to figure that out without them, I mean, not saying we can't call them, but if there's a way to figure that out without them, then that'd be more beneficial for sure.
So we have
encrypted emails. We haven't shared anything.
We have encrypted emails from people that are obviously the source. I just don't know. Is there anyone at Metro that
they have encrypted emails from people that are obviously the source. What makes that so obvious, John? The Proton mails? The thing about Proton is you can't prove where it came from, John. That could have been your wife making those emails. It could have been you. Could have been Grayson. You can never have a Proton email admitted as evidence in a criminal court. Never. You can hire computer people that can collect information in a way that makes it admissible in court, but most people don't know that until after the fact. Proton, they're going to laugh you out of the courtroom again if you walk in with Proton mails saying, look, the source typed these. Stop. It's silly.
Could figure out like where these are coming from, because that's where we want to go.
That's why it says this isn't my forte, so I'm not sure if anybody would have to be a special detective that works with computer crimes.
And what about the harassment aspect too? I want to point out the harassment aspect, because again, we're getting these cryptic Proton emails saying we've blind copied all these people, even though you blind copy people so that people don't know you blind copied them, and they're like, we blind copied everyone. We're doing this. We are outing you.
Yeah, there's
like multiple emails like that. Also, I feel like lies in like harassment. Like, why are they doing that? Like, this is like a game to them.
No, it's not a game, Lauren. It's the reality that you went after the family of Kay Woodcock. And any just regular, normal person finds that horrifying and egregious. And the big concern is with credibility of Kay and Larry Woodcock, Colby Ryan, you're going to be able to get access to any murder victims' families anywhere. What? So you can hurt them too? You're literally suing Kresha into copyright court when you used her family's photographs. You claim them as your own. You have weaponized, you have managed to anger good, decent people that are highly motivated to just protect decency. Decency. That's how low you have gone. That people watch you and they're watching at what you two are doing, and they don't think you should be anywhere near a crime victim. Anywhere.
You know what I mean? Like they're
like I said, there's a lot of ugly people that do stupid things and they're mean people.
Yeah, you're looking at one, Mr. Officer. That you're looking right at her. That's the girl. That's the one you just described. Ugly people doing dumb things. There you go. Right there. There she is.
That bully people and stuff like that, it doesn't mean it's a crime.
Right.
So I get what you're saying with the possibility of doing this. And even the blind copy, not knowing who those people are, if there are people, it's that's what we don't know right now.
One of them is another person that I work with.
Extortion a crime?
Extortion would be them asking for something. Did they ask for money or anything?
Nope.
I haven't seen that. You just checked that email out today. What are they threatening? Well, they're threatening our livelihood.
No. Yeah, sorry, Mr. PhD. I'm so smart from Princeton. You having trouble with extortion? What he means is they're saying you got to give. We have all this information, and we're going to release it unless you give us $1 million. We're going to release all this information that is going to hurt you. It's going to be embarrassing to you unless you leave YouTube. That would be an example of extortion, Mr. Princeton genius.
That's a bit gray. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
they're just saying to put out information. So
the truth. They're putting out. I'll tell
you what. I'll talk to my sergeant right now with what I have, and we'll see if I'll see. They'll probably end up getting in touch with our cyber detective and see how this might play out.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I know, Officer, by the way, just as an aside, I worked, not in the last few years, but I've worked closely with I have in the past, your internet sex crimes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, oh. What is that, chat? What did John the Great just do? Yawn John, right? Name dropping. John Matthias. Why do people name drop? What is the personality of people that name drop? Yeah. False credibility, John. False credibility. Nobody gives a shit if you used to work with the internet sex crimes unit. No one cares. Did Christina cyber rape you, John? Have your delicate sensibilities been assailed by Christina? Maybe she told you a dirty joke that upset you. Maybe she said something nasty about Brad Pitt, perhaps. Okay, you only said that because you're trying to influence this officer. You're trying to pull rank on this officer. And last I checked, APA, they think that kind of behavior sucks.
And I've done a lot of evaluations on sex offenders that got put away.
Juvenile sex offenders, John. Juvenile.
I said that's a very different crime, but I just want to say that I've always appreciated Metro and worked closely with you guys. And, thank you for listening to us. Yeah, I think the problem here is But I know technically, since they haven't published this stuff, it's kind of hard to like, say it's a crime. But
John, you can't charge a crime that has not yet happened. Look, you're a great, famous, renowned forensic psychologist, aren't you? You having trouble with this idea? We don't charge people with crimes that they never committed. That's the problem. And you are asking this law enforcement officer to do that, to investigate a crime, start an investigation of a crime that simply doesn't exist, hasn't happened. It's all been dreamt up out of you and Lauren and Gray Baby's head. It hasn't happened. And if this woman is telling the truth about what was done to her, she can talk about it all day long, coming and going. It is not a crime. If she's telling the truth, John, she can say whatever the hell she wants to say. And frankly, I'm astonished that such an accomplished psychologist such as yourself, 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. Oh, Dr. John is just the best. He's our Dr. Babe. Why are you having trouble with the concept that you can't investigate a crime that never happened?
On the other hand, like, according to like Gigi, they're like minutes away from publishing this stuff. So, like, we're trying to salvage our reputation. But, like,
Well, not just our reputation, but
Trying to
like
be
the
you're trying to be
victims.
proactive. I get it.
And Lauren is like, oh, that sounds so bad. That sounds so bad for him to say. We're worried about our own skin. We're worried about our income. We're worried about our professional YouTubeist reputation. That makes us sound like monsters. We don't, Mr. Officer, we do not care if this hurts us. We're only worried about the victims. That's all we care about. We love Kay and Larry so much, and Kresha and Colby, while they're like my own brother and sister. I would do anything to make this right, Dr. Officer, Mr. Journalist Peon. I would. It's not me. I will. I don't care what happens to me and John. I only care about the victims. Please believe me. Oh my God, Lauren, please. At least John is being honest about the money.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, we're trying to salvage our reputation. But, like,
Well, not just our reputation, but
Trying to
like
be
the
you're trying to be
victims.
proactive. I get it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. And yeah, it is a little confusing. Like, technically, after the damage is done, yeah, you've got federal crimes and you've got state crimes, right? But like, and maybe they're just playing a game. Maybe they're not going to publish. I mean, unfortunately, we have sources that have said that they've seen some of the emails and they know they're coming.
Emails. Did you hear what he said? We have seen the emails, some of the emails. Did you hear that? Remember what I said? If it, let's say Lauren sends an email or they send an email to Lauren and they've BCC'd all of the newsrooms. Every newsroom, if all they do is hit reply or forward, every newsroom that was in that blind copy, every newsroom gets access to the entire email thread. They get it all legally. It goes right to them. They can do with it what they want to. They can write about it. They can do whatever they want to. So the emails are out there. That is very telling to me. I think it all came out through the email chain.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. We should that's right. Like,
Yeah, my concern is the whole text of like these will be shown by your text messages. Like they're very clear that they are releasing your text messages.
Now, Gray Baby just kind of responded to what I just said about the emails, that I believe The emails got distributed legally because of the blind copies and they just hit reply. I think that's how they got distributed. But now Grayson jumps into action and she said, oh, no, not emails, guys. No, we don't want to talk about the emails. With the text messages, they illegally got our text messages. So good work, Grayson. You are right on there saving those lies.
I thought they were in your iCloud account, which is cited.
I've never given them a password to my iCloud.
Like,
And you've seen a direct a copy of a particular text then?
I've seen somebody show me one in person. Yeah, I've seen things.
Or do you have it sent to you right now? One that you know for a fact is from your iCloud account?
Nope.
Do we have one from?
Do you? Did you get it?
How funny. How funny is that? She says to Lauren, do we have one? And they kind of look at each other knowingly. You would expect Lauren to say, oh, yeah, we totally do. Get it. But what does she do? She turns it back on Gross. Well, do you have one? Why? Was it invented evidence, Lauren? What was actually, where was the originating proton sent from? Was this something contrived?
Because here's what we usually do. We go by the screenshots showing the proof of, and I mean, it's kind of like a financial crime in a sense. We need all this documentation, the bank account records and all that other stuff, So having all this stuff, you can talk about it, you can say I saw it, but without the proof, once again, there's not a lot to go off of.
Listen, Lauren, sister, listen here. You've got a channel with 300,000 subs. You are the self-prescribed queen of YouTubia. All right. You and John, you guys are, man, you are the bee's knees. You don't know anything about receipts. You don't know anything about if you say something, if you accuse somebody of something, you better bring receipts or it didn't happen. I find that shocking. Maybe someone should take back your crowns.
Nothing to go off of. So the proof is what we need.
I think if somebody official with law enforcement calls Gigi and says, we're aware.
Damn, John. What? Listen to what he just said. What, you have got to be the dumbest smart person I've ever listened to, John Matthias. You're literally creating, you have just engaged in a criminal offense in front of a cop's body cam. Listen to what he says, and then I want y'all to tell me what the crime is.
A lot to go off of, or nothing to go off of. So the proof is what we need.
Listen.
I think if somebody official with law enforcement calls Gigi and says, we're aware of the fact that you believe that you've seen texts that are private correspondence.
These ones aren't iCloud, but these are her private messages.
I believe if someone official contacts Gigi and says, we are aware that you are doing XYZ, what is the crime? That is a criminal action that he just did. That he broke a law. What'd he do? He enticed or attempted to entice a law enforcement officer to intimidate and harass a private citizen when he knew no crime has been committed. That's it. It's not even about the emails or the text messages, or it's about John Matthias broke the law. It with the body cam right there, documenting it all. It's unbelievable. I can't even believe what I'm listening to. but I do think that it would be incredibly interesting to reach out to Henderson Police Department and find out when they will be charging John Matthias.
That have been sent around and were emailed to us.
That's right, Nancy Drew.
Yes, sir.
You know, if you call TV and say, we have information.
They're crossing out names of who's in it.
Wait,
November
John's-
23rd, okay.
wait, hold on, John. There's two people talking. Hold on. Okay, go ahead, John.
We have information that you've seen private texts that have been shared with you from Lauren's iCloud account, which, by the way, is a crime. That's illegal. It's a federal crime because we're going across state.
Oh, we're going to bring in the F word, right? John Matthias dropping the F bomb as he coaches a law enforcement officer to intimidate a witness for a crime that John Matthias knows damn well hasn't been committed. You are damn lucky this officer didn't arrest Lauren right there on the spot, John.
Lines, like, you can't share private information.
Well, I don't enforce federal crime either, so the FBI would probably have to get involved with this.
I agree. There's actually two federal crimes here. But, yes, I know the FBI meant it to jump in, like,
Because this may be more FBI than local.
That's what I'm
I
thinking.
agree.
I don't know.
We all agree with that. And
Do
but
you
my biggest
really? You have no idea what your husband just did. You are so short-sighted and ignorant of the laws. You have no idea what you guys just did. I'm dumbfounded.
concern is if my biggest concern though, John, is if Henderson police calls because this isn't their jurisdiction, they're not federal, and they say to Gigi,
They won't call, Lauren. They do not have any reason to believe that there is a crime, and therefore any kind of investigation would be an invasion of privacy. It would be illegal for the officer to call any of them. He has told you multiple times he doesn't believe that a crime has been committed. You guys are you're acting like a mafiosa.
we don't know if there's a crime that's been committed. If she
Let's
asks,
go further.
then it goes further. And if he's still trying to figure that out, he can't say there's been a crime that's been committed. If he's still,
Have you submitted anything to FBI at all yet?
No, what's the
we made a police report in error and
Arizona in April when this first started.
yeah.
We made a police report in error in Arizona, but we made it in error. We had some things wrong on it. Well, no, you completely left out information. You didn't even fill it in properly. Was that by design, Lauren? Because you knew what you were saying was a lie? I don't know. It's a question.
And what'd they say?
they listened and took a record and then said, would you want to press charges?
And we said yes, and we didn't hear back, and then things kind of died down, so we thought everything was done. We were
Have you contacted them recently? Because here's the thing, if this started when you guys were in Arizona, and you already gave a police report, doing a multiple 2 times, 3 times police reports don't make sense. And now it feels like that's what I'm kind of doing.
Yeah, you know what, officer? Intelligent human being, the only intelligent life in this room, they don't have any police reports because no other officers would give them one. The officers where we have seen the body cam, the recording of the court proceedings, the words of the judge, every contact they've made, they were laughed at and said, you are not the victims of crime of any sort. They're trying to manipulate you because you're a small town police officer. They're trying to manipulate you into giving them a report. They need a police report in order to sue her and go after her. They have no evidence. They have nothing to take into a court of law with them. Nothing. They're trying to trick you. They are committing a crime against you. And you could have arrested them. Still can.
The reason I called you is because we live here. We were in Arizona on a business trip.
Okay.
And so that was why I got them involved while we were there, because I was worried about her safety. She had somebody physically coming up threatening her at the courthouse.
Okay.
Yeah, bailiffs had to say, leave her alone.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
concerned.
Did you call? Yeah, that's completely different. Did you call Arizona and try to find an update on? So what was reported down there? Was this reported down there, or just the situation at Arizona?
The beginning of this was reported in Arizona, and
Granted, it's a different crime. That was somebody's basically stalking and threatening.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep that out of it then.
Yeah, this is an internet crime. That was somebody who was harassing Lauren and threatening to harm her physically.
Okay.
Trying to harm her physically? What did they do? What does that mean? They're trying to harm her physically. Was she attacked? Did someone throw a rock at her head? Did they fill her Botox injection with water? Like, in what way did they try to harm Lauren? More lies to a law enforcement officer. I'm telling you, she and John Matthias, they believe they're special. They believe they don't have to follow the laws as you and I do. They believe that they command anyone that they view as lower status than them. They believe that they can command them to do their will, including having a young mother who was Lauren's friend, having her spend 5 years in jail in order to not let the truth come out. John, you sound like the kind of guy that wakes up in the morning with a horse head in your bed.
Let me talk to my sergeant. Probably talk to our cyber guy, and go from there. I'm not going to try to call Gigi.
I know. Do you see my concern with it?
Yeah. No, 100%. While you're on the phone, we have that a lot with like neighbors across the street, next door, apartments, whatever. Where like, hey, I just want it documented. I don't want you to go talk to them because I'm afraid it'll escalate. I want it documented. So a lot of people do that as well. So based on your concerns, I will not make a phone call to her.
Okay.
Not at all. Let me talk to my sergeant and see kind of what direction we're at right now. Because right now, all I got is somebody saying they're going to do something and haven't yet.
That's right.
And your lawyer sent out a cease and desist to that person.
Her brother. It was her brother that did, because he's free. These bozos have $3 million that came from the blood of JJ and Tylee, and they don't want to pay an attorney. So she just uses her brother.
Right?
Free people.
That person may or may not have shared information to other news sources per se.
Correct.
And the reason I say may or may not have is because they would have to tell me it came from that particular person. And then we got a text message, copies of text messages from 2023, which
and I want to point
that are
out
being sent out. So there was a copy of a text message, screenshots of a text message that is being sent out. And who'd you get that from?
That's an interesting person, because that's somebody that we hired to do contract work with, and then they cut doing contract work with us because they were sent that. So it's also like that's someone that like stopped working for us because it was sent. So this is someone like trying to physically hurt our business.
So that might not be from your iCloud account. That could be from the other person then.
They were sent it by the person that we've been telling you about. They said that. They told her directly, Stephanie sent this to me. And she said, I don't know why.
But we don't know where Stephanie got it from.
She's in that. That was between.
And that's the other thing too. We'd have to try to prove that Stephanie had access to the iCloud and got into it, and broke into it.
Yeah, it was an email.
Or happen to know your contractor who took screenshots of it because it's on their phone too, and they took the screenshots and sent it to her.
So I think the best case, we're all here. If you could talk to your cyber unit, is that what you feel is best right now, officer?
That's all I can do, because right now it's very, very loose stuff, extremely loose stuff. I understand the concern, and I know the concern is real, 100%. I'm not trying to downplay that.
Lives to be blown up.
But just like I mentioned earlier, when somebody says, I'm going to come over and take care of you, what does that mean? So there is real fear, concerns, and other things in person's minds when certain things happen, and they understand from their point of view what could or could not happen. The fact that it hasn't happened yet is good, but that would like pass that. But yeah, there's a lot of work that would have to go into if and when that took place, being the crime and then tracing it back to the actual person that did it.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just I'm not the one that's going to be able to figure it out.
Everybody good? John, are we good?
I have problems with my iPhone. Come on now. And yeah, internet crimes and stuff too. The FBI, I think it'd be good to get in touch with them.
Yeah.
It's probably who we need here. I mean, it's one of those difficult situations where like I would do groups for convicted felons, and sometimes a sex offender would say, well, I'm thinking about offending again on so and so, or like they'd be vague. I'm thinking about offending, and we would know who it was, right? Like we would know what they wouldn't say the person, but like we would have an idea based on their history of who they were talking about, and like, is that reportable, right? Like,
Are you serious? Yeah. What? Yeah. John, the Tarasoff decision is something that would have been taught to you like your first year in your PhD program. It is grilled into your head. You don't know what the conditions are where you can legally break confidentiality. You have the protection. You must protect. Your duty is to protect. And there are those three conditions that have to be met, and then you can legally break confidentiality, right? So what do you mean that's a sticky ground? There's nothing sticky about that. Tarasoff is clear. It's been upheld for years. We have good guidance on people making threats against others and whether or not, under what conditions, we can break confidentiality. And now you're sitting there misleading this police officer? You know the Tarasoff decision. Stop.
Obviously, I don't want someone to get harmed, right? But like, they haven't committed a crime.
Unbelievable.
Like a specific credible threat. I don't know. It's.
You don't know? How did you get your license if you don't know? There hadn't been a licensing exam for a licensed psychologist that's been given in 30 years, well, maybe 20 years, that didn't have Tarasoff on it. You do know. You know exactly what the Tarasoff decision is. You know what the limits are. You know when you can break confidentiality. You're completely lying to this police officer. You never would have passed the licensing exam if you didn't know what that was.
It's a hard area.
No, it's not.
It is. And I mentioned this earlier before you were on the phone. It's difficult because sometimes until that line is crossed, it's just an idle. When I say idle threat, it's not a criminal threat. It's just a threat of doing something. And until it happens, there's not a lot you can do sometimes. Depends on what it is. So, just because people have certain thoughts of, I would like to go steal a car. I think that would be fun. We're not going to go to somebody's house because they're planning on stealing a car.
I guess, like in this case, I know I think there's a specific credible threat.
You think?
I don't know. Like, yeah, technically, until they publish this stuff and cross the line, like it's hard to know what to do. I mean, I guess.
No, it's not hard to know.
That's where the cease and assist from the lawyer is huge, because then they can.
John, no crime has been committed. It's not hard to know what to do. No crime has been committed other than the crimes you and Lauren have created by doing a bullshit restraining order, lying to police officers, lying to the judge. Well, you didn't actually, because you dropped your complaint with the court, so that didn't happen. But trying to manipulate this cop into intimidating the people that you don't want telling the truth. The only paper trail, hard copy of evidence that a crime was committed was the one you committed. Oh, and it's laughable again that you're going, well, no, gee, I don't know what to do. Somebody says you hurt me. I don't know what to do. Well, then go back to a new PhD program and get re-educated is all I got to say.
Contact the lawyer.
No, I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
Know that the lawyer is real. Lawyer can utilize certain federal laws, certain state laws in that, saying, if you do this, this is a law you'll be breaking, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's educating the other party, makes them be like, oh, man, that's not a good idea.
Well, unfortunately, one of the other parties, her husband works for the FBI, so he apparently doesn't seem to think this is a big deal.
The FBI. John, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, John. It's a big deal to you and your wife because you guys had a bird nest on the ground. It's a big deal to you two because you were able to take a little YouTube channel and parlay that into $3 million. And you are greedy for more. It wasn't enough for you. It's a big deal to you because now the gig is up. The truth is out. Lauren is not a good friend. Lauren is not always honest. And I'm not going to say what I think about you. It's a big deal to you guys because it's you that are going to suffer consequences for the truth. But in the bigger scheme of things, like mothers who murder their children or murder their brother or murder their husbands, the FBI's busy, John. They're busy with real problems. People that have come into the United States and want to blow things up. They're busy. They don't think that this petty foolishness that your wife is nasty. Your wife is a bad friend. She doesn't treat people very well. She doesn't conduct her business with honesty, and therefore people are reacting. People don't like to get lied to. People don't like it when their friends stab them in the back. People don't like to be treated ugly by anyone, but a person who pretended to be their friend. What you guys are experiencing are called consequences. It's not a crime, John. It's human nature, and you're the great behavioral expert, right? It doesn't matter, John Matthias, how many policemen that your wife tries to manipulate or yell at or intimidate. It doesn't matter. It'll never be a crime, John. And the mere fact that you want to take Christina and put her in jail for 5 years as an example, not to mess with the great and powerful Matthiases, tells me everything I need to know about what you are.
Well, we don't know. We don't know if they've talked. I think that's the best marriage. So let's be honest. We don't know.
So I don't know what's been said, but I looked it up. The statute on these things it depends on how bad it is, but it's at least 5 years in prison. It's a felony. So it is serious, and it's obviously there's civil issues in terms of.
No, we don't know if they've talked. I think that's the best marriage. So let's be honest. We don't know. So
I don't know what's been said, but I looked it up. The statute on these things it depends on how bad it is, but it's at least 5 years in prison. It's a felony. So it is.
For what, John? Why do you want this young mother, an artist, a woman that was just trying to be Lauren's friend? That's all she was doing. she's an artist. That's how she makes her money. She did court drawings for Lauren and just gave them to her. Didn't charge her fee. She was just trying to be friends. And this is how that friendship got repaid. And that's what you want her to spend 5 years in jail for, John? Is that true? Like, really? You want this woman, her child, to be without her mother for 5 years. 5 years, John. Because she has the truth? You would elevate yourself above this woman who's not lying. She's not lying about Lauren. She hasn't made up stories that were untrue, John. You believe her actions to this point now, you believe this lady deserves 5 years away from her child. You are nasty. You want to sentence her for 5 years because she is threatening your money. That I don't know what to call that, really. What do you call that, Bill?
Evil.
Just, there is no other word, is there?
No.
Evil. It. And your job at one time was to do evaluations on juvenile offenders. I'm sorry. I wouldn't hire you to do anything. That level of integrity, lack thereof, I wouldn't hire you to mow my grass, John. Do you understand the immense responsibility that comes with doing these assessments that can land people in prison for the rest of their lives? Do you understand that? Do you understand that it takes someone who has utter and complete commitment to the truth, come what may, that nothing else is elevated above the truth? That's integrity. That there's no right or wrong. There's no one person who's better than the other person. You just follow the rules. You are objective in the evaluation you're doing. You are robotic in the way you're assessing it. And wherever those numbers fall, that's what you go with, because you have someone's lives in your hands. That you would send a woman who was your wife's friend, you would take her from her child for 5 years in order to protect your bullshit, lying, insidious, tricking, invading victims' families so that you can get the inside story. You would take her freedom for 5 years when no crime has been committed, none at all. There's some serious problems here. Well, I'm gonna be quiet about anything else. There's some serious problems, John Matthias.
Serious, and it's obviously there's civil issues in terms of if they ruin our business, which they would think our business would take.
Yeah, I brought up civil earlier.
Oh, 9? Okay. So, and obviously it's going to be multiple counts. If it's here like 10 items, it's potentially 10 counts. So I don't know. Like it's frustrating.
You sleazy.
I get it.
Right? It's frustrating because obviously our best case scenario there is to stop this or stop anything from being published.
Yep.
Okay, so I think I feel good where I am, John. Are you okay?
You shouldn't, Lauren. You shouldn't feel good. Are you listening to him? Did you ever once, Lauren, did you ever look at your husband and say, they're not lying, John? I said those things. I wrote them. I did those things. They're not lying. Did you ever do that? Did you ever full accountability, grown ass woman? Did you ever look at him and say, I did it?
Yeah, I mean, so you don't think
Because this jackass wants to put your friend in jail for 5 years. More if he can figure out a way to get multiple counts. Hell, maybe he can get her thrown away so that when she gets out and her child is 21 years old, then she'll never get a relationship with her kid. How you feel about that, Lauren?
you should call Gigi.
Well, I think we have the concern. He can't say right now that there was a crime committed. So if she asks, he has to say, I don't know. And then that gives him power.
There is no crime.
I mean, this could just be an intimidation campaign, right? Like to scare us. I mean, that's true. Like it could just be like, we're gonna ruin your reputation without publishing a thing because we're implying or we're inferring that you're, that you're immoral or whatever the hell they're implying.
They're implying it, John? They're implying or inferring that you guys are giggle immoral. I don't know, chat. Let me ask you. Do they sound immoral to you? Has anyone had to imply anything, or have all of these videos, these body cams that have been taken because of these clowns, watching them, do you just have to infer that they're immoral, or do you see it? And yeah, the cop is awesome. The cop needs a hospital named after him. I totally agree. Yes. Yeah. Immoral, unethical, diabolical, evil, and frankly, the most unprofessional behavior I have ever witnessed. Ever. It is criminal that you are trying to entice this police officer to break the law, John. You broke the law. You are the one that you broke the law.
You know, you're not supportive of people you should be.
What?
I mean, it could just be
What did he say?
that we're implying or we're inferring that you're, that you're immoral or whatever the hell they're implying. Like, you know, you're not supportive of people you should be.
You're not supportive of people you should be. What do you think he's talking about there? You're not supportive of the people you should be. What did that mean, do you think? Oh, so dirty, Inga. What does that mean? That it is making people infer that they are immoral and not supportive of people they should be. What does that mean? Wow, robohedral. What does that mean? Interesting, isn't it? Wow, this is eye-opening. Yikes.
So I mean, it could just be.
And I have some other like mental health people in my channel, some psychologists and stuff. Boy, that would be an interesting panel to have a bunch of psychologists up on the panel talking about all of the problems in this behavior.
Intimidation, but is there any way could we get a referral to the FBI? Is there someone at the FBI?
Damn. So he says, Okay, well, please call Gigi. Please try to make her scared so that she, calls the source. Please call Stephanie. Try to scare her. Please do this. Please, you got to do this. Let me tell you your job. Let me tell you the laws that are not broken. Let me tell you. And then when the cop, who is stellar, by the way, he knows exactly what he has to do and where the boundaries and the limits of the law are. John Matthias won't take no for an answer because he's special. And so then he says, "Oh, well, could you give us a referral to the FBI, please?" You know what this man wants, John? You know what he wants? He needs a paper trail, doesn't he? He wants a piece of paper, ... He wants a piece of paper. He needs something, anything official that a law enforcement officer puts his signature on that can be used as exhibitees in a court of law. That's it. That's what he's after. He wants now a referral to the FBI. John, one of these women is married to an FBI agent. You already said, that. You already said it. The FBI doesn't care about your stupid little problems. They don't care. They're doing things like, tracking serial killers. You know what I mean? They're doing things like looking for, people that want to blow New York City up. They're looking for people that are stealing millions and billions of dollars from banks and stuff like that. They're looking for people that are bringing in just tons of drugs, illegal drugs into the country. They don't care about John Matthias's reputation and lack of integrity. But there are some governing, councils that would care very much, don't you think? Like licensing authorities and such. But that's state law, isn't it? You want to know something, John? If I ended up with $10,000, a $10,000 windfall that I wasn't expecting, I would be on top of the world, excited and grateful. You are so greedy, John, that $3 million in what's it been, 5-6 years? You've made your wife has made $3 million in 5 or 6 years, and you want more, John. You want more. And you're willing to put a young mother in jail for 5 years in order to get it. It's the worst thing I've ever heard, John.
Yeah, you'd have to just contact the FBI office itself. I think you can do an online report, but I don't know how.
This law officer, the gig is up. He's on to you, John. He ain't giving you nothing. You aren't getting a piece of paper. You aren't getting a signature. You're not getting a phone number. You get nothing because there's no crime, John. And he keeps explaining it to you, and he keeps explaining it to Lauren and Grayson, and you guys have $3 million in your fat heads. And all you can think about is, we need more. We don't want anybody to know that we're pieces of shit. We need more money. It's gross.
Soon you'd be contacted by anybody because it goes into their big system. I would say the local FBI, I think, is downtown near the detention center or the courthouse or something. You could go straight down there and talk to a desk officer or something and say, hey, we want to talk to somebody about a situation we have.
Is that right by CCDC?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I've never had to go in there, but, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go. You know, I had a meeting with them when I was concerned about that one crime you were covering, John.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And I had an appointment with
Yeah,
them
we
and
had-
I just was unable to go because we went out of town, but I can figure it out.
We had some people threatening us, so,
Even Lauren
Um,
knows. Even Lauren knows he's useless. Even Lauren knows. She's like, it's okay, Dr. Babe. I got this. Shaking her head from side to side. No. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing calling him. I don't know what I was thinking. Even Lauren knows.
I mean, what's their offices? They probably close at what, 5?
Yeah, we can work it out, John. We're standing here with an officer. Can we call you later?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Yeah, just go away, John. We're done. You were no help. You made things astronomically worse, and now you really screwed us. So yeah, go away.
Yeah, let me go talk to my Sarge and see what he thinks, because this is very unique. It's not something we go to,
It's not unique.
not even on a monthly basis. Maybe once a year kind of thing. And then you got
It's petty.
multiple officers with beginning of the week, end of the week, days, swings, graves. So, I mean, for me, this is my first time in 5 years that I've dealt with something like this.
Yeah,
So,
because
but that's why.
most people don't act this way, Mr. Officer McCotty. Nobody acts this way. Adults don't do this. Adults don't, have friends and have coworkers and talk shit about each other because they need to blow off steam. They learned back in elementary school and junior high not to do that because it always gets back to the victim. The adults don't act this way. So they don't write things in their email that can get them in trouble. They just don't do that. And that's why you don't ever have to deal with it, Officer McCotty, who knows his stuff. They just don't. That's why you don't ever have to do it. It's actually shocking that these silly 3 adults believe in any way that any crime has been committed. It's silly. It's absolutely silly.
Why we have the people available that have a little bit more experience. If he has to bring it up to the lieutenant, they'll talk to the lieutenant, and then kind of go from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do we need to give you any more of like the emails, the lucrative emails, or the?
I wouldn't say right now. The big challenge is because you're getting these from other news sources.
The email was sent. You were in that Facebook group where that threat came from. So you pulled that.
Yeah, no, that was that.
And
threat
the email was sent to us.
That threat was written by my ex-employee, and it gets her name on it.
It's from her email source, that kind of stuff.
No, it's from her direct social media account.
Okay, social media.
Yeah.
And what did that one say?
That was the one. If you talk in private, we'll expose you in public. Didn't act you as a courtesy.
That was my ex-employee. That
was 2 hours after she had a private text conversation with somebody else about the falling out with these employees, explaining some anger. So that's why at first I said, I don't think these are related.
I got it. I just need specifics for my sergeant. So that's one thing. But those text messages that you have are from the copies of text messages.
Yeah, those were sent in April.
I have a question to my chat. Is that dog real? Is that dog real? I gotta know because it hasn't moved, not once. Maybe it's medicated. I will talk to my boss. I am done here. Tell you this to end this BS. That's exactly right. That dog is cute as a button. And earlier, the dog is like got his head up. He's still laying down, but he's got his head up. Kathy said the dog is so depressed and needs to be rescued. Right, Kathy? I'm going to venture a guess here. If me and you, if we were stuck in the room with this nonsense, we'd probably sleep. We probably would have passed out too, right? Like, God, take me away from this torture. I agree. My heart's breaking for the poor little dog. That's the saddest thing I've ever seen. Just, it's torture to have to be with these 2 women and that creature on the phone. It is crazy, Phoenix. It's simply nuts. I hope Christina sues them for defamation. I hope they lose all of their subscribers. I hope they have serious legal consequences. You don't even have to hope. The reality is the laws were broken. John Matthias broke the law. Okay, plain and simple. No, it's not. It was blatant, and it's on this body cam. There are many people that are very tribal on YouTube, that once they find a channel that they identify with, they find a channel creator that they really, really like, that becomes their home team, right? So just like if like I cheer for the Houston Astros, I watch all their games and all that, if I go to a game or something, I'm going to wear like an Astros t-shirt or colors, and that's kind of how our YouTube channels are. Our subscribers will really like us, and maybe sometimes we sell t-shirts and whatnot, and they'll fight against other channels, right? So you can get these rivalries that go on. And I think the people that really, really enjoyed the Hidden True Crime channel, and they really, really like Lauren, or they really like John, I think their identity is wrapped up in the channel. And so it's really hard. It's very difficult to separate from something that you have great affection for. And it's not just Lauren and John. They like the people that are in the side chat. They like for that to be their community. At the end of the day, to relax, they go to their community and they have fun talking with these people, right? So it is super hard to have to admit that people that you've given your money to, you've spent your time with, people you trusted, people you believed were good people, it's hard to believe facts. Even when you see the video, it's very difficult to do. So they have lost many subs, many, in the tens of thousands even. But there's 100, 200, 300,000 more that are still there because they just, that is their community. I don't think they'll stay. I think with each passing day, I think those people are realizing, I judged wrong. And it's not a personal failing. I judged wrong. I thought Brittany J was an innocent, nice person. I did. And I talked crap in her channel in support of her, things like that. I did. I was totally wrong. I was 100% wrong. She absolutely did what Cluminati and Cletus said she did. She brought out a sexual assault case for a little 8-year-old child. That child that was victimized is now graduating high school, going to college. And Brittany J took that information and used it to attack the mother of the child that was assaulted. They did it. They flat out did it. They did it. And I knew then, boy, you got that one wrong, sister. I knew I was wrong. So I get it. It's hard. I lost a lot of my YouTube friends. There were a lot of people that I really liked in that chat, that community, but no way was I going to be a part of that. No, in no way. And I was just done, but it's hard to do that. I left once she crossed the line from reporter to family member of the victims. Right, Lovey? How do you even... The minute that woman said that she knew how Charles Bellow felt, I was dumbfounded. So I agree, Nola V. That was craziness. That 9-hour live, that was craziness. Craziness. So strange. It's very strange. Yeah. Very strange. All right. In Lauren's community post where she's hawking Patreon and memberships, there's many sad stories about limited income Social Security recipients or people having cancer and apologizing why they can't buy and pay. That should never happen. Should never happen. It's sickening. Yeah, it's terrible. Okay, well, so let's see, I only followed the Daybell case in the moment when Dr. Babe was not blabbing, basically the interviews. Yeah. It's just feeling, but I think the people who know how bad she is have been very shrewd about dripping information. This has been going on for 2 months now. Yes, a lot of people, the 9-hour live was really bad. Hey, Alcine, they lost me at Delphi. I wonder now how I ever watched them. I mean, it's weird, isn't it? It is weird how they got blown up into these. It was like they got instant credibility. They were just given a blanket approval. It's really weird the way it happened, even. It's awful, really. And I know that she is befriending Brandy Vaughn in the same way that she did Kay Woodcock's family. Terrible. It's just so immoral. I know, Diane. And so Bill and I, there were a couple of times that we were watching something on their channel. This was quite a while ago. And he would watch it and then he'd say, that lady hates him. He'd say, who is that? I laughed. That's her husband. He said, she totally hates him. He said, look at the look on her face. We had a lot of nights where we would laugh because she looked like she had disdain, like when he would start talking, right? Yes, Diane, I totally agree. She, and then I would say, yeah, but how can you tell what she's feeling, because she is just paralyzed with Botox. Like, she just has so much Botox, nothing moves on her face, right? And again, Diane, I think that's why she looks so either angry or sad or disdainful. I don't even know that is really how she feels. I think that's just all those muscles are paralyzed, and so her face doesn't move. You can see that kind of thing, like with people that have had strokes and stuff. Certain types of strokes, not all. And they just kind of look like they have a mask, right? It doesn't really change between reactions. The lip filler is way overdone, Rambo. Like, her lip line, she's got lip filler down on her chin. It's not even her lips anymore. It's yeah, and that's not my concern. It's none of my business. That doesn't matter. But it does, the fact that years ago, my husband and I were watching, and he's just like, that lady hates that man. We still laugh about it now, Hound Lover, we were talking about Lauren and John Matthias. So yeah, Jean, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thanks everyone for allowing me to share my thoughts. I really like it when the chat is active and everybody's giving their thoughts and their ideas. I'm just one person. I have my reactions and thoughts, and I may be wrong. Lord knows I was wrong about Brittany J. So yeah, talk up. Say what you want to say in the side chat. You're good. There's no problem with that. Yeah, and thank you, Jean, for coming. It's very sweet. All right, y'all. How much more of this do we have? I don't know if I can take any more, actually. Oh, we're at the end, I think, huh? Oh, maybe not. We're really zoomed in here. Let me see how far we are to the end. We got a little bit to go. Let's listen and see well, John is gone off the phone. So John Matthias is no longer on the phone, and we stopped and talked a lot about some of the crazy things he said, right? Lauren and Grayson's stuff wasn't that outrageous. So I kind of think the rest of this is going to be a little
from somebody else, from a friend of mine who got mad at her and sent them
from a group.
So she got them from somebody else, basically. Okay, so in a hearsay kind of, I don't want to say hearsay, but you got it through a third source.
My husband is back really quickly. He said a couple of action items. Go ahead, John.
Oh my God. What? What did I just hear? John calls back and he has some action items for this police officer. What have I left? My poor husband. I want you guys to know Bill is so nice. He's literally laying in the dark, trying to go to sleep while I scream and yell. That's a very good man. That is a very good man. Bill, I'm really sorry. She literally says, excuse me, my husband is back. He has some action items. For the love of everything holy, what is wrong with you, John? Do you have a tumor in your head, buddy? Like, what is wrong with you? Good Lord. Okay. Everybody get ready. Take a drink of water. If you got it, fire up your bong if you need it. Look, we may all need it by the end of this. I get ready for that. The great and powerful Oz is about to order the police officer. He's giving him his action items. Wow. John, you are a pompous ass.
If we could get a report filed so we start having somewhat of a paper trail on this, if the FBI wants that. Number one, and number two, if we could get a consultation with the internet division, I think that would be.
John, he's not going to give you a written report. He's not going to invent evidence for your bullshit crime of trying to put an innocent woman in jail in order to protect your millions. You poopy head.
Helpful just to see what they say or get their feedback. I feel like the more options we have, the better. So, like, if we could get those two things, that would be great. I really appreciate it.
So, a report, we usually do a report for crimes. I got to talk to my sergeant about this. If it's, I mean, we document everything, but yeah, if it doesn't come to the point, we don't necessarily do a report for it. You know.
Go cop, Mr. Hottie. You're amazing. Thank you for being a real cop. John, he told you. Well, sir, we don't make police reports unless there's a crime. You pompous asshole. You should be prosecuted, John.
Not a police report, just like an incident report.
Yeah. I definitely get you that.
In writing, sir. I just need you to completely ignore all the limits and lines where you can do what you could do. Just give us anything in writing so that we can try and put an innocent woman in prison for 5 years. You little fucker.
And as far as somebody contacting you, once again, that's going to be up to the information that I give them and what they got to say for reply. And if they, I'm not even sure, because our cyber guy is tucked into computers all day long, per se, that, I mean, few people know who he is, you know, so.
you know what he's saying, John? He's saying, F you. He's saying, hey, sure, I'll give you a referral to our internet guy if I can figure out who he is. Hey, have you seen that internet guy? I hadn't seen the internet guy. Have you seen the internet guy? I don't even know who the internet guy is. Sorry, John. We don't have an internet guy. John, you are absurd.
They're like a different breed.
Yeah, like our SVU detectives are the same way. They're in their little offices and their little holes, and we see them once in a great while, you know.
Yeah.
But I'll see if there's a way if somebody can make a phone call to you to explain things better than what I can.
I'll tell you what I'll do, John. I'm going to see if I can find another cop that can call you and explain better than I have that there's no crime here. That's what he really said.
I just want to like the more the more brains behind this, like just to see, like I just want to see if there's other options, or if they could recommend something that we don't know.
Right. Yeah.
You little pud knocker. You little useless little poopy head pud knocker.
Yeah. They deal with this stuff all the time, so they would know where the lines are drawn, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so those two things I think would be really helpful.
Okay.
Get some paperwork that we're concerned about it, and then
get some paperwork. There's the buzzword. Get some paperwork. We just need a signature, officer. We don't care what you do for us. We don't care what you make. We just need a piece of paper, because right now we have zero evidence of any crimes, anything at all. We want you to invent evidence. John Matthias.
Just even a consultation with the internet people to say, to tell us like what are some options, or
Yeah.
I mean, they might say there's nothing here, go to the FBI, or I mean, whatever.
Right. And they probably work with the FBI as well, so they'd probably be able to get you in touch with the right person as well.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great.
So I'll see what I can do.
There's another part of this. This man who is doing anything and everything in his power to try and put a woman in jail for, telling the truth. Remember that. It's the truth. The truth has never been a question here. He understands that the Internet Crimes Unit, do you know what they do? You know why they were formed? You know where it started, where it came from? You want to know? When pedophiles would go into game rooms, like chat rooms, and befriend children, and then talk those young girls into meeting them out in the community, and then the pedophiles would take the child, and horrible things would happen, right? Sometimes even death. This man, John, wants to now use the Internet Crimes Victims Unit to invent a crime against Christina so that he can put her in jail for 5 years, or maybe longer if he can figure out a way to make it multiple counts. Then they don't have to worry about losing their money. They'll just keep on exploiting families, keep on making more money, keep on praying that another family has a homicidal maniac in the family. He doesn't care at all, not a bit, that he is going to be asking the very crimes unit that is used to protect the children of our nation and world. He doesn't care that he's asking them to protect his fortune. Remember, there's never been any question that the things that have been said are real. It's the truth. These things, Lauren did these things. But in my mind, what John Matthias has done is far worse. Far worse. I quite don't know what to think about a man this self-centered. Absolutely zero integrity. The level of immorality on display in this video alone is enough to make people completely mistrust the field of psychology. All for money, all for $1. I would ask the licensing board, what would this man be willing to do for money? After watching and listening to this, what would he be willing to do for money? Be a court whore? Defense attorney, fancy defense attorney come in with big money. Hey, I need my criminal to be squeaky clean. And I got $50,000 that says he is. Court whore will say, I need $50,000. Let me do the testing. Let's see what we come up with. What wouldn't he do for money? That's the question. Man, this is one of the most egregious videos I've ever seen.
Can do here in the next 10, 15 minutes or so.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right. Yep. All right.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm just trying to think of hard data. So this is the text messages that are from somebody kind of thing.
email to us, and then email to us after that person confronted you in the courthouse. And then the Proton email came directly to our account.
So that wasn't forwarded. That was
directly to our account.
From
from the Proton encrypted. The person that's hiding. Person that
so directly, so you don't know who it was from. It's just
correct. We don't know
okay.
who it was from, but they sent it to us.
Okay.
And they said,
but that was the same.
Copy all of the.
That was the same thing, saying they have dirt on you, pretty much. In so many words, they're saying they have dirt on you, and
your texts are going to be released.
They said your text. Your text will be released.
And they didn't say your text will be released if you don't do this. And they didn't say your text will be released at this point.
More like hidden true lies, all of it will come to light.
So they just seem to be upset and are saying they could be released.
All of them are BCC'd on this email, and your text messages will prove it.
Right.
So they're
certain people are BCC'd, yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't know who.
Well, they say who they BCC'd.
Who are they BCC? That's stupid to say they BCC'd people.
That's
and
what I'm saying.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make
it
sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I agree with you.
But when I talked to Gigi today, she goes, "Well, the first email came from a Proton," and I was like, "You're fucking bullshitting me." Like, because
so let's go.
Yeah.
I want to go out and talk to the sergeant. So that email basically says, in so many words, you're full of lies, blah blah blah. Should come out, blah blah blah.
We're gonna release your text.
That's it.
We're gonna release your text publicly.
But they didn't say we're gonna release it on Monday. We're gonna release it if you do this. We're gonna release it if you don't do this.
That's
nothing like
right.
that. They just said we're gonna release it.
Detail.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. I'll be back.
There's not even an implied threat.
Oh, that's your husband. No, I'm Henderson too, not Metro.
Oh, thank you.
Poor guy. I feel sorry for this cop, but he's a great cop, isn't he? He didn't let him push him around. Listen, he's tired. Poor thing. He's thinking, man, I sure do need a drink. I need a drink too, Mr. Cop Man. Okay. All right. Wow. That was kind of crazy, wasn't it? I'm shocked, actually. Completely. No extortion. No, there's nothing, y'all. There's nothing. A crime has not been committed. That there's nothing other than Dr. John. Dr. John committed a crime. He was intimidating. He tried to harass this police officer. He tried to entice this police officer. He used manipulation to try and make this officer call Gigi, intimidate her in a way that would maybe get the source to get afraid and not release the text messages. He literally tried to weaponize a police officer to do his dirty work. It is a crime. You can't do that. It is punishable from 1 year in jail for misdemeanors up to multiple jails for felonies. John, you're probably going to end up spending more time in jail than Christina. because you're a bozo head. And then he calls back, Vicky. He calls back with some action items. Let me tell that cop what to do. I need a piece of paper. Well, you didn't get one, John Matthias. This unbelievable. Christina, wherever you are, honey, bless your soul for ever having to have a single conversation with these clowns. Sincerely. A true bozo head, Alcee Truth Seeker. True bozo. When a police officer sits in your living room for an hour and a half and keeps saying, there's no crime, there's no crime, there's no crime, there's no crime. Why don't you shut up and go, yeah, well, I guess there's no crime. I feel bad. I wish this person wasn't threatening to release facts. Wow. It's just incredible. And now the trickle truth starts, doesn't it? Now it makes sense, Nola. Now you get what she's doing, right? All we had to do was see these people in action. We don't need to read any messages. We don't need to see a single text message. We don't need to read any of the emails. We know everything we need to know about John and Lauren. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I feel very, 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 very sad for these people that thought that they were friends of Lauren. I feel really bad. I think it's must be very painful to see this much selfishness by adults. It's got to be really hard for Colby, Ryan. I would guess. I know Kay and Larry were pretty shocked by their realization of what was taking place. The people in Hidden True Crime, the community, feel so sorry for them. I feel so bad for them. But John Matthias broke the law during this encounter with this police officer. It's incredible. All right. Yeah, I mean, the truth, y'all probably don't remember the Monica Lewinsky thing. I look at Grayson kind of like Monica Lewinsky. It's kind of the same problem. Yes, Monica was of age, 21 years old, right? Just barely. And she was being manipulated by the unequivocal most powerful man in the world. However, was it her responsibility that there was an affair, or was it the president's responsibility that he got into an affair with a child? All right. Most older women, we look at our 21-year-old daughters and we see people that still need guidance, right? So I look at Grayson like that. I think that Grayson needs some protection. I think that if I was Grayson, listen up. If I was your mother or your granny, I'd be on an airplane right now to come and get you. I would be dragging you into the airplane by your ear. I would be saying to you, it's okay, Grayson. We're going to go home. We're going to get you a real psychologist who will help you sort through the abuse and the manipulation that you've experienced with these two people. And then you're going to go to college and you're going to have a great life. You're going to make yourself some friends of your own age group. You are going to get your self-respect back. You are going to have a future. And one day you're going to look back on this past couple of years and you're just going to laugh and think it was all a cruel joke. But right now, you need some adults to take control and get you into a protected situation, because there is no possible way Lauren and John Matthias are good for you. Not after everything that we've seen. I do too, Phoenix. Yeah. And you know, unfortunately, she's very impressionable, and she's looking at these two adults that, John does have some notable accomplishment. Lauren's is a little sketchy, but Grayson, think back to when you were in your early 20s. She's looking at these two people and they just look like they got it going on. They look like they're, doing great. $3 million channel, and she just thinks that they're role models. So she's now bought into all of the unethical, unprincipled, selfish, mercenary type mindset that they're demonstrating. She needs a deprogrammer. Yeah, they are, Alcee Truth Seeker. They're dangerously good. Yep, look at Bill Clinton. Or really probably any president, any speaker of the House. They probably all narcissists, if you know the truth. Alpha Omega said there's also a daughter relationship weirdness that Lauren seems to have with her. Right? It is too the level of intimacy between the two of them is unhealthy. Like everyone can see that in their interactions. When I say intimacy, I don't mean a sexual relationship. I mean from a psychologically descriptive way. The people that are in our lives have different levels of intimacy. If you go to the same Starbucks every day at the same time, the same barrister serves your coffee, you may know the barrister's name is Sarah. You may not know anything about her personally, and she doesn't really know anything about you either, but there's recognition. And maybe even when you drive up, she already has your coffee prepared because it's a regular daily event. That's still, it's a very, very low level of intimacy on the intimacy scale. You can't say it's zero intimacy because you recognize each other, you see each other, and she prepares your coffee. So it's a very, very low level of intimacy, but it's still intimacy, and it still feeds some of your needs for affiliation. One of the reasons you're going to that same Starbucks at the same time every day is because you feel ownership of that. It makes your life feel predictable and familiar. So there is intimacy, it's just very, very low. And then all the way up to the highest levels of intimacy, which are your relationships with your spouse or your children, family, a lifelong friend, that kind of thing. Yeah, deprogrammed. Yes, boss lady. Grayson needs a deprogrammer. She's been around these people that conduct themselves in highly questionable ways. We know they now we have evidence they are both very quick to lie. If it fulfills their needs, they don't mind lying. We know that to be fact. So now Grayson, young, impressionable, she thinks, oh, it must be okay to invent stories if you need to. Yeah. I think she should be protected. I think her mother and dad need to go get her, that's my opinion. Add narcissism to limited fame and a power differential by age and influence. It's a toxic mix. Grayson is ill-equipped to handle this. I'm 100% with you, Phoenix. That is my opinion. Yep. Same as yours. she did not have the maturity to understand plagiarism as a crime. Yeah, completely. Agreed. And the family photo with Grayson in it. Yeah, I know. It's very manipulative. And she's babysitting their child in addition to being given this bullshit title of senior producer or executive producer. And then John Matthias, who is a licensed psychologist, says to Grayson, a video person, stay with her all day. She's suicidal. John, really? I think you need to go get an MRI, honey. I think you might have a tumor or like one of those little worms or something in your brain. Your judgment is very curious. All right. People, I think we are all tired, don't you? This has been great. This has been informative. It's been horrifying. You guys are a great support group. Y'all, we have had a hidden true crime support group meeting. This is what we needed, I think. Yeah. We might have to make this a regular thing because these two jokers, man, they're terrible. They're terrible. All right. I'm going to be back. Maybe not tomorrow. Probably going to be Thursday, but I'll be back. And you guys are awesome. I hope you will hit the subscribe button so you get the notification for when we have our next HTC support group. All right. So you don't miss that. We all need to work these demons out. And until then, I hope that the world is smiling down on you.
Oh, Lauren, queen of the screen. With Botox so tight, you look like a dream. But your skin's so thin, it's like tissue paper. One wrong word and poof, you're a vapor. Hey, Lauren, toes all sore and red. From folks stepping on them, now you're crying in bed. People are mean, you wail through the night. But you swing at victims' kin, what a sight. From YouTube throne, Queen Lauren's so grand. Now cast to the peasants with pitchforks in hand. You dish out the drama, true crime with flair. But cross your highness, oh beware. Family members grieving, you pounce like a cat. Claws out and hissing, imagine that. Botox can't hide that frown upside down. Your kingdom's crumbling, you're losing your crown. Hey, Lauren, toes all sore and red. From folks stepping on them, now you're crying in bed. People are mean, you wail through the night. But you swing at victims' kin, what a sight. From YouTube throne, Queen Lauren's so grand. Now cast to the peasants with pitchforks in hand. Once upon a vid, you ruled the true crime wave. Subs in the millions, oh what a rave. But thin skin and sore toes led to your fall. Now you're scrolling comments, ignored by all. Peasant life calls with no royal decree. Just Botox bills and reality TV. Hey, Lauren, pack up your crown. The kingdom's evicting, you're heading downtown. Toes still aching, tears on your sheets. But hey, next adventure, true crime on the street. From queen to the fields with the mud and the muck. Lauren, oh Lauren, next time, better luck. Apologize, Lauren, to victims of our